In the shadow of the towering Hokage monument, nestled among the forests and mountains, lies the hidden leaf village, Konohagakure, a place of tradition, courage, and secrets. 12 years before our tale begins, this village faced annihilation. The nine-tailed demon fox, a creature of pure malice, reduced homes to ash and lives to memory. Its rampage ended only when the fourth Hokage, a hero shrouded in legend, sacrificed himself to seal the beast inside a newborn child. That child was Naruto Uzumaki. But the village did not celebrate him as a savior. They saw only the monster within. An orphan, shunned and feared, Naruto grew up in a storm of loneliness. His pranks, defacing statues, disrupting classes, were cries for attention, even if it meant being hated. To the villagers, he was a ghost, a reminder of their pain. But to one man, Iruka Jumino, a teacher scarred by the same tragedy, Naruto was something more, a child drowning in the same loneliness Iruka once knew. The day Naruto painted the Hokage monument was the day his life began to change. Dragged back to the academy by Iruka, he faced yet another failure. While his classmates mastered the clone technique, Naruto could only conjure a pathetic puff of smoke, or in his case, the sexy technique, a gag transformation into a naked woman. The class laughed. Iruka sighed, but beneath the humiliation, Naruto's resolve burned. That night, over bowls of steaming ramen, Iruka asked him, "Why do you want to be Hokage?" Naruto's answer was simple, yet profound. "So everyone will have to acknowledge me." It was a plea masked as a declaration, but the path to recognition was steep. When Naruto failed the graduation exam, again, the manipulative instructor Mizuki saw an opportunity. He whispered lies to the boy. "Steal the scroll of seals, learn a jutsu, and they'll make you a ninja." Desperate, Naruto obeyed. Under moonlight, he pored over the scroll, mastering the forbidden multiple shadow clone technique, a feat even seasoned ninja feared. But Mizuki's true plan unfolded in the forest. He cornered Naruto, kunai in hand, and revealed the truth. "You're the Nine Tails prison. The villagers despise you. Even Iruka, his parents died because of you." Naruto froze, the weight of a lifetime of isolation crashing down. But then Iruka intervened. Taking Mizuki's attack meant for Naruto. Blooded, Iruka roared, "Naruto isn't the Nine Tails. He's my student." In that moment, Naruto understood. Someone saw him, not as a monster, but as a person. With a roar of his own, he unleashed 1,000 clones, overwhelming Mizuki. As the third Hokage watched silently, Iruka clasped the forehead protector onto Naruto's brow. The outcast had become a ninja. Yet Naruto's journey was only beginning. Enter Konohamaru, the Hokage's grandson, a boy drowning in the shadow of his title. "I'm not just the third's grandson," he declared, ambushing Naruto with a poorly aimed smoke bomb. Konohamaru mirrored Naruto's hunger for identity, and the two formed an unlikely bond. Naruto taught him the sexy technique, not as a joke, but as rebellion, a way to defy expectations. When Konohamaru's tutor, Ibisu, scoffed at Naruto's influence, the boy retaliated with his own crude transformation, exposing Ibisu's hidden enthusiasms. But Konohamaru soon realized truth. Relying on Naruto's tricks wouldn't earn him respect. "I'll become Hokage on my own," he vowed, walking away with a grin. Naruto understood. Recognition couldn't be borrowed. It had to be earned. As a genin, Naruto's world expanded and collided with two others. Sakura Haruno, a girl whose sharp tongue hid insecurities, and Sasuke Uchiha, the last of a massacred clan, cold and consumed by vengeance. Team 7 was born, a trio of mismatched souls. Sakura's disdain for Naruto cut deeper than any blade. "Why do I have to be stuck with you?" she sneered, her eyes softening only for Sasuke. Desperate to win her affection, Naruto transformed into Sasuke, probing Sakura's heart in a clumsy ruse. But her words were merciless. "Naruto's a loudmouth orphan. He'll never be like Sasuke." Yet when Sakura cruelly mocked Naruto's lack of parents, it was Sasuke who snapped. "Shut up, you're pathetic." The irony wasn't lost on Naruto. His rival, of all people, defended him. It was a small crack in the wall between them. Their mentor, Kakashi Hatake, was an enigma, a man who read smutty novels mid-combat and arrived perpetually late. His first lesson was a test: retrieve one of two bells from him, or face expulsion. Those who don't get a bell go hungry, he drawled, eyeing their naivety. Naruto charged blindly, clones flying, only to meet Kakashi's 1,000 years of death, a humiliating attack involving a pair of fingers clasped together and a very sensitive area. Sasuke, ever strategic, laid traps but fell to Kakashi's mind games. Sakura, paralyzed by fear, was ensnared in a genjutsu, forced to relive her own self-doubt. The bell test had ended, but the lesson was only beginning. Kakashi Hatake, the enigmatic mentor of Team 7, stood before his battered students, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura, bound to wooden posts, their bell challenge a humiliating failure. You lost because you fought alone. Kakashi chided, his voice sharp beneath its usual laziness. The rules were clear: only two could pass by claiming a bell, but the true test lay hidden. Teamwork. Ninja who abandon their comrades are worse than trash, he declared, tossing them a single lunchbox. Starving and bruised, the trio faced a choice: obey Kakashi's order to let Naruto starve, or defy it. Sasuke, ever aloof, broke the silence first, offering Naruto food. Sakura followed, her earlier disdain softened by guilt. In that act of rebellion, they passed. Kakashi emerged, his lone eye crinkling with approval. Mission accomplished, he said. The bells were never the goal, it was the bond, fragile but forming, that mattered. Yet Kakashi's praise came with a warning. The shinobi world is built on blood and betrayal. If you hesitate, you die. Team 7 nodded, unaware how soon those words would echo. Their first official mission was laughably simple: find a missing cat. Naruto, itching for glory, groaned at the monotony. But as days passed, even Sasuke's patience frayed. This is beneath us. Naruto stormed to the Hokage, demanding a greater challenge. The third, amused by his fire, granted a C-rank escort mission: safeguard Tarzuna, a gruff bridge builder, to the land of waves. Naruto celebrated, oblivious to the storm ahead. The journey began peacefully, too peacefully. Then, in a blur of chains and malice, the demon brothers struck. These assassins moved like shadows, their sickle blades aimed at Tarzuna. Kakashi, ever the tactician, feigned death to expose their target. Naruto froze, paralyzed by fear, until Sasuke leapt in, kunai flashing, defending his teammate with cold precision. Sakura, shaking, shielded Tarzuna, her academic prowess useless in the face of real danger. Kakashi, revealing his ruse, subdued the attackers effortlessly. But the truth spilled: Tarzuna had lied. This wasn't a C-rank mission, it was a suicide mission against Gato, a tyrant strangling the land of waves with poverty and fear. Tarzuna's bridge threatened Gato's empire, and now, Team 7 was in the crosshairs. Naruto's pride flared. We're not backing down, he vowed, fists clenched. Kakashi hesitated, but the team agreed. They would see this through. The land of waves greeted them with fog and despair. Ramshackle huts lined the shore, their people hollow-eyed. Danger lurked in the mist. Zabuza Momoshi, a demon of the hidden mist. His blade, Kubikiri Boisyo, gleamed as he emerged from the haze, his presence suffocating. Kakashi of the Sharingan. Zabuza purred, this'll be fun. A duel of legends unfolded. Kakashi unveiled his Sharingan, the crimson eye mirroring Zabuza's every move. But Zabuza was no ordinary foe. He cloaked the battlefield in thick mist, splitting the team with water clones. One clone trapped Kakashi in a watery prison, rendering him helpless. Run, Kakashi ordered, but Naruto refused. This was his moment. Naruto's clones surged forward, a chaotic swarm. Zabuza's clone battered them aside, mocking his weakness. Yet Naruto's mind raced. Improvisation was his gift. He hurled a giant former shuriken, a decoy. Sasuke, reading Naruto's reckless gambit, threw a second shuriken hidden in the first shadow. As Zabuza dodged, the shuriken transformed into Naruto. The real Naruto struck, forcing Zabuza to release Kakashi. The Jonin emerged, fury and pride warring in his gaze. Well done, he muttered, before turning the tide. Kakashi's Sharingan spun, copying Zabuza's water dragons and waterfalls, turning the assassin's own techniques against him. Just as victory seemed certain, a masked boy appeared, slight, serene, and lethal. Senbon needles flashed, piercing Zabuza's neck. A hunter nin, Kakashi noted, as the boy vanished with Zabuza's body. Relief washed over Team 7, until Kakashi's doubt crept in. Hunter nin, destroy bodies on sight, he mused. Why take the corpse? The answer came days later. As Kakashi recovered from Sharingan exhaustion, Zabuza was alive. The Senbon had induced a death-like trance. The boy, Haku, was no enemy. He was Zabuza's ally. To improve their chakra control, and thus the effectiveness of their techniques, Kakashi teaches Team 7 how to climb trees. Naruto fails completely. Sasuke can only make it halfway up, and Sakura is able to make it to the top on her first try. After repeated failures, Naruto asks Sakura for tips. Meanwhile, Zabuza recovers from his fight with Kakashi. Gato approaches him intending to kill him for his failure, but is stopped by Haku, who breaks Gato's arm in punishment for even considering touching Zabuza. Zabuza assures Gato that he will finish the job in a week's time, because she has nothing to gain from additional chakra control training. Sakura escorts Tazuna around the land of waves and sees the poverty the country has been reduced to because of Gato's control. Meanwhile, Naruto and Sasuke continue trying to climb trees. Despite his earlier failures, Naruto is catching up to Sasuke. Concerned that Naruto will beat him, Sasuke asks that he share whatever advice Sakura had given him earlier. Naruto refuses, and the two begin a competition that keeps going even while Team 7 is having dinner with Tazuna and his family. When Inari, Tazuna's grandson, becomes upset by their efforts, Tazuna explains how Inari and the rest of the country lost hope in their freedom. Years earlier, Inari met a man named Kaiser, a visitor to the land of waves. The two grew close, and Inari came to consider Kaiser as a father. Sometime later, when a heavy storm season threatened to break a dam which would flood the country, Kaiser risked his life to seal the dam, in the process becoming the country's hero. When Gato arrived in the country and began his monopoly over all forms of industries, Kaiser stood up to him and was executed for his actions. Inari and the rest of the country lost hope. Naruto, determined to save the country and prove to Inari that hope still exists, leads to resume his training. Naruto, while resting from all the training he has done, is awoken by Haku. Unaware that he is the masked boy he met during the fight with Zabuza, Naruto explains that he was training to get stronger. Haku remarks that people become truly strong when they're protecting someone precious to them, something that Naruto can agree with. They part ways and Naruto continues his training, finally managing to climb to the top of the tree. Naruto returns to Tazuna's home after an intense day of training, frustrated by all that Naruto is putting himself through. Inari yells at Naruto that he is too happy to free the land of waves from Gato. Naruto tells him to grow up, and Inari storms out. Kakashi approaches Inari and tells him about Naruto's background, how he grew up without family or friends, but chose to not feel sorry for himself and solve problems his own way. The next day, the rest of Team 7 leaves Naruto behind, so that he can rest and escort Tazuna to the bridge he is building. There they are met by Zabuza and Haku. Two of Gato's henchmen attack Tazuna's home, planning to kidnap his daughter Tsunami in order to force Tazuna to stop building the bridge. They prepare to kill Inari, but Tsunami promises to kill herself if they attempted to harm him. Touched by the bravery of his mother, his grandfather, and Team 7, Inari stands up for himself and tries to stop the kidnappers. Before they can cut them down, Naruto suddenly appears to save Inari and defeat them both. He congratulates Inari for the courage it took to risk his life to save his mother, and then leaves to join the rest of his team. Sasuke and Haku begin fighting. Although Haku is a skilled opponent, Sasuke is able to make good use of what he learnt during his training and pushes Haku to his limits. Irritated that Sasuke is doing so well, Haku uses his trump card, demonic mirroring ice crystals. Sasuke is trapped in a prison of ice, leaving him open to Haku's attacks. Kakashi attempts to come to his aid, but is stopped by Zabuza. With Sasuke apparently doomed, Naruto appears and lands a sneak attack on Haku. Zabuza tries to kill Naruto, but is stopped by Haku, who asks that he be allowed to fight him by himself. Zabuza agrees. Naruto, planning to help Sasuke, enters the ice prison, in the process becoming trapped just like Sasuke. The two try to attack Haku, but their efforts are quickly neutralized because of Haku's extreme speed. Haku asks that they stop trying to escape since he has no interest in killing them. He will if he needs to, if it means preserving his dreams of being useful to Zabuza. Worried about what will happen to Naruto and Sasuke, Kakashi prepares to fight Zabuza so that he can provide assistance. Zabuza attacks Kakashi before he has a chance to reveal his Sharingan. Kakashi blocks the attack, but Zabuza is unconcerned, having learned from their previous encounter. Haku had watched their battle and realized that the Sharingan's apparent mind-reading abilities were only an illusion. To avoid falling prey to the same trick twice, Zabuza coats the area in a thick mist to reduce visibility, and also fights with his eyes closed, both factors making it impossible for the Sharingan to hypnotize him. Kakashi having lost his advantage, Zabuza takes the opportunity to try and kill Tazuna. Kakashi appears before Tazuna at the last second to block the attack. Sasuke and Naruto are becoming exhausted by Haku's relentless attacks. However, the attacks are becoming increasingly less successful, with Sasuke slowly being able to not only follow Haku's fast movements, but to react and avoid the attacks entirely. Realizing that this is because Sasuke has awakened his own Sharingan eyes, Haku moves to kill Naruto so that he will have an easier time fighting Sasuke. Meanwhile, Kakashi has been badly wounded by Zabuza. Zabuza points out that he will soon die just like Sasuke and Naruto, but Kakashi has faith in them in their survival. Elsewhere, Naruto finds that Sasuke has used himself as a shield against Haku's attack. Naruto asks why Sasuke would do that, but Sasuke does not know why. He laments that he did not have a chance to kill his brother before seeming to die. Enraged by the loss of Sasuke, Naruto vows to kill Haku. In his anger, Naruto, unknowingly, taps into the chakra reserves of the Nine Tails. Kakashi senses this, and worried that the seal that keeps the fox sealed within Naruto has been broken, decides it is time to finish his battle with Zabuza. When he sees that Naruto's mysterious chakra source also heals all the damage he has sustained, Haku tries to flee. In one quick motion, Naruto avoids one of Haku's attacks and catches Haku. He then punches Haku in the face, sending him flying and shattering his ice prison. Naruto charges to deliver the finishing blow, and Haku turns to face his death, revealing that the mask he has been wearing in the entire battle has been broken. Seeing Haku's face for the first time, and recognizing him as the boy he met a few days earlier, Naruto stops himself from killing Haku. Assuming that he is being shown mercy, Haku reminds Naruto that he killed Sasuke. He goes on to add that sparing his life is rude, since his life no longer has meaning because he has lost to Naruto, and in turn, lost his usefulness to Zabuza. Because Zabuza is the only person to have found value in Haku's existence, Haku swore to live his life as Zabuza's tool. Meanwhile, Kakashi takes advantage of the damages he has received so far. Knowing that Zabuza is covered in his blood, Kakashi summons a pack of Ninken to follow his own scent and restrain Zabuza. With Zabuza immobilized, Kakashi prepares his lightning cutter so that he can finally put an end to Zabuza's schemes. Elsewhere, Haku asks Naruto to kill him. Believing that death is the only way Haku will find happiness, Naruto charges at him just as Kakashi charges at Zabuza. Sensing his master's danger, Haku blocks Naruto's attack and disappears. Using himself as a human shield, Haku takes the full force of the lightning cutter, at the same time releasing Zabuza from the Ninken. With the last of his strength, Haku grabs Kakashi to prevent him from escaping. Haku, dead, is holding Kakashi in place. Naruto, having gone looking for Haku after his sudden disappearance, finds him in this position just as Zabuza is about to slice through his body to get to Kakashi. Kakashi avoids the attack and protects Haku's body before staging a counter-assault. Sakura, seeing that Naruto is okay, asks about Sasuke. When Naruto doesn't respond, she suspects the worst. Because she cannot leave Tazuna's side, she asks that he accompany her to Sasuke's body. Kakashi destroys Zabuza's arms, preventing him from attacking further. Seeing that Zabuza will no longer be able to assassinate Tarzuna, Gato appears with a group of thugs to finish the job himself. Noticing Haku's body, and remembering when Haku broke his arm, Gato defiles his corpse. Although this makes Naruto mad, he is even angrier about the fact that Zabuza does not seem to care. Zabuza reminds him that both he and Haku were ninja, tools of battle. They have no emotions or attachments. Naruto explains that this was not true of Haku as he cared deeply for Zabuza. Knowing that Naruto is right, Zabuza cries for never appreciating Haku. Hoping to repent, Zabuza takes a kunai with his mouth and charges through the thugs to reach Gato. He decapitates Gato and that collapses from the combined attacks of Gato's forces. Sasuke wakes up, having only been put into a death-like state by Haku. Sakura tells Naruto the good news, who is glad that Haku was able to stay true to his desire to not kill anybody. With Gato dead, his thugs consider pillaging the Land of Waves to replace the paycheck they will not be getting. Just then, Inari, along with the villagers, appears to finally protect their country. After Naruto and Kakashi contribute some of their own shadow clones, the thugs are scared off and went running away. As Zabuza's life fades, he asks Kakashi to take him to Haku's body as a request. As he dies, Zabuza regrets that he will not be able to join his most loyal follower. The two are then buried beside each other on a high land, overlooking the country, and when Tazuna completes the bridge 2 weeks later, Team 7 goes home to Konoha. After Team 7 returns from a mission, Kakashi is summoned away. Naruto tries to spend time with Sakura, and Sakura tries to spend time with Sasuke, but both are unsuccessful. Although disappointed, Naruto notices that he is being followed. He forces Konohamaru to reveal himself, and Konohamaru congratulates Naruto's detection skills, unaware that he was doing a terrible job of staying hidden. Seeing Sakura, who is moping from being turned down by Sasuke, Konohamaru assumes that she is Naruto's girlfriend. She tries to attack him for this mistake, and while fleeing, Konohamaru runs into 2 foreigners. Elsewhere, the third Hokage informs Kakashi and Konoha's other Jonin that the Chunin exams are about to begin. Irritated that Konohamaru had run into him, Kontu tries to beat him up. He is stopped by Sasuke. Elsewhere, Konoha's Jonin enter the members of Team 7, Team 8, and Team 10 into the Chunin exams against Iruko Umino's objections. Recognizing that Sasuke may pose a challenge, Kontu prepares to fight him but is stopped by Gaara. Sakura asks why 3 Tsunagakura ninja are in Konoha. They explain that the Chunin exams are an opportunity to advance in rank before departing, leaving the members of Team 7 intrigued. Another team watches from a tree nearby. Kakashi informs Team 7 that they have the opportunity to enter the Chunin exams. He gives any and all of them the choice not to participate before leaving. Although Naruto and Sasuke are enthusiastic, Sakura is worried that she will not be able to keep up with the other competitors. Nevertheless, Team 7 heads to the sign-up location together the next day and finds the members of Team Guy being bullied by 2 genin. Recognizing that things are not as they seem, Sasuke begins to fight one of the genin, but they are stopped by Rock Lee, a member of Team Guy who had only moments earlier appeared defenseless. Lee asks Sakura to be his girlfriend, but she turns him down before leaving. The 2 genin, actually Chunin in disguise, remark that this exam's competitors seem promising. Lee follows Team 7 to challenge Sasuke. Naruto, angry that Lee only wants to fight Sasuke, tries to prove himself by attacking Lee. He is quickly defeated. Impressed by Lee's abilities, Sasuke agrees to fight him. When he is left unable to keep up with Lee's movements, Sasuke suspects it is some sort of ninjutsu or genjutsu, and so activates his Sharingan. Because Lee is using taijutsu, the Sharingan does not help since Sasuke lacks the physical training to replicate Lee's attacks. Lee prepares to use his front lotus on Sasuke, but is stopped by Ningame. Lee apologizes to Ningame for trying to use a forbidden technique on Sasuke. Team 7 assumes that Ningame, a tortoise, is Lee's teacher, but are proven wrong with the surprise appearance of Might Guy. When Guy finds out what Lee tried to do, he punches Lee, confusing Team 7, and then hugs Lee in a tearful embrace, further confusing them. Guy and Lee leave, and Sasuke is upset that he was defeated so easily. They continue on to the exam site where they are met by Kakashi. Kakashi congratulates Sasuke on deciding to participate, as genin must join in teams of 3. He did not tell her this for fear that she would participate solely to benefit Sasuke. They enter the examination hall. Team 7 is stunned to find that they are only 3 of over 100 genin looking to become chunin. They mingle with the members of Team 8 and Team 10, members of the same academy graduating class, but the fact remains that they are mere rookies in comparison to the other examinees. They are befriended by Kabuto Yakushi, who gives them advice and intel on the exams and its participants. Although this is meant to intimidate them, Naruto loudly promises that he will defeat all of them. Naruto earns angry looks for his words. Team Dosu takes the opportunity to attack Kabuto for underselling Otogakure during his explanation of the Chunin exams. To prevent the situation from escalating, the exam proctors, led by Ibiki Marino, appear and settle things down, revealing that the first phase of the exams will be a written test. Much to Naruto's dismay, the genin are assigned seats. They are instructed to answer 10 questions within half an hour. If anyone is caught cheating too often, they will be disqualified, as will the rest of their team. The entire team will also be disqualified if any one member fails to pass the test, much to the dismay of Sasuke and Sakura. Before revealing what the 10th question is, Ibiki explains that anyone who gets the question wrong will not only be disqualified, but will be unable to participate in the Chunin exams ever again. Anyone concerned by this is given the opportunity to leave, though the rest their team must leave also. While some participants are busy forfeiting, Sakura worries that Naruto, who will most certainly answer the question incorrectly, will not drop out so as not to inconvenience her, and Sasuke, in the process dooming himself to an eternity as a genin. Just as she is about to give up for him, Naruto proclaims that he will not back down, even if he must fail. Inspired by his confidence, nobody else leaves. Ibiki then allows them all to pass on to the second phase. Ibiki explains that, in addition to intelligence gathering skills, this written test, specifically the 10th question, was designed to test participants' willingness to face the unknown. Since all present chose to risk their futures to answer the 10th question, they have what it takes to become Shunin. After he congratulates them, Ibiki allows Anko Mitarashi, the proctor for the second phase, to guide the remaining genin to the Forest of Death. Naruto announces that he is not intimidated by the so-called Forest of Death, and Anko cuts his cheek to punish his cheekiness. She explains that the second phase of the Chunin exam will require the genin teams to obtain both an Earth Scroll and a Heaven Scroll upon entering the forest, and make it to the building in its center within 5 days. Each team will be given one scroll, necessitating that they somehow take the second scroll from another team. After everybody signs consent forms, releasing Konoha from responsibility in case of their deaths, the 26 teams of 3 are granted entry to the forest. Soon after entering the Forest of Death, Naruto breaks away from the rest of Team 7 to go to the bathroom. When he returns, he is immediately attacked by Sasuke. Sakura is shocked, but Sasuke explains that this Naruto is missing the scratch on the cheek he received from Anko, and must be an imposter. The ninja removes his disguise and tries to take their scroll by force, but he is injured by Sasuke and forced to retreat. Once finding the real Naruto, Sasuke decides that they should have a password only they will know in case they are separated again. Sasuke's suggested password is very long, leaving Naruto to request something simpler. Before they can modify the code, the 3 are attacked by another ninja and separated. Sasuke finds Sakura, who confirms her identity by reciting the password. Naruto locates them soon afterwards and also repeats the password without error. Sasuke once again attacks him, pointing out that the real Naruto would never have remembered such a complex password. Still separated from Team 7, Naruto is attacked and swallowed by a giant snake. To escape, he creates a number of shadow clones, bursting through the snake from the inside. Meanwhile, his teammates are taunted by the enemy ninja, who has the scroll that Team 7 needs to pass the second phase of the Chunin exams. He consumes the scroll, forcing Sasuke and Sakura fight him if they want it. Sensing how dangerous the ninja is, the two try to flee, but are easily followed. As the ninja and his snake allies begin to attack, Naruto appears and draws the ninja's attention. Fearful that the ninja will kill them all, Sasuke offers to give the ninja their scroll in exchange for their lives. Naruto attacks Sasuke and takes the scroll from him, believing he is an imposter, since the real Sasuke would never give up so easily. Even if he is the real Sasuke, Naruto points out that there's no guarantee the ninja would spare them. The ninja agrees, summoning a snake to attack Naruto. As Naruto is battered around, Sasuke pleads for Naruto to give up. Naruto, using the strength of the nine-tailed demon fox, quickly defeats the snake as it turns its attention towards Sasuke. Naruto mockingly asks if Sasuke has been hurt. Exam proctors find the dead bodies of 3 Kusagakuria ninja. Anko recognizes the work as that of Orochimaru and races into the forest of death to try and capture him. Meanwhile, Orochimaru, disguised as a Kusa ninja, recognizes that Naruto is the Jinchuriki of the nine-tailed demon fox. He seals off Naruto's access to the fox, takes his scroll, and throws him aside. Sakura catches him, while Sasuke, inspired by Naruto's previous success, stages a counterattack. Using his Sharingan, Sasuke is able to defeat Orochimaru. As a reward for his skills, Orochimaru destroys their scroll and brands Sasuke with a cursed seal before leaving. The pain from the application of the cursed seal causes Sasuke to lose consciousness. With Naruto similarly incapacitated, Sakura wonders what she is supposed to do. Elsewhere, Anko travels through the forest of death and locates Orochimaru. She attacks him and tries to kill him by sacrificing her own life, but stops at the last moment when she realizes she was not attacking the real Orochimaru. He advises against so innocently using the techniques he taught her and tells her of his interest in Sasuke. He warns her against ending the exams prematurely before leaving, saying that to do so would not be in Konoha's best interests. Sakura tends to the still unconscious Sasuke and Naruto. When she hears something approaching, she turns around suspecting an enemy, but it is only a squirrel. She nevertheless makes it a point to scare the squirrel away, so that it can avoid the traps set for the enemy. Soon afterwards, Rock Lee finds the squirrel and saves it from an explosive tag that has been applied to its back. At the same time, Sakura is confronted by 3 sound ninja that express an interest in fighting Sasuke. Sakura asks why Orochimaru gave Sasuke a cursed seal, but they do not answer. In fact, being surprised to learn of their master's earlier actions, they attack her, avoiding the traps that Sakura indirectly revealed by scaring away their squirrel bomb. But she is saved by Lee. Wishing for Sakura to be his girlfriend, Lee vows to defeat her attackers or die trying. Knowing that he can end the battle by using the forbidden front lotus, Lee thinks upon his master's stipulations for using the technique, to never use it unless protecting someone precious. Confident that Sakura qualifies, Lee attacks Dosu with the front lotus, but Dosu, with Zako's assistance, survives the attack and strikes Lee. Dosu's attacks disorient Lee, but he persists in trying to protect Sakura. When he is no longer able to stand, he collapses, and Sakura tries to defend him along with Sasuke and Naruto. Meanwhile, Team 10 watches the battle and contemplates intervening. They watch as Sakura is captured by Kin Tsuchi, who restrains her by grabbing her hair and taunts her for being more concerned with her appearance than her ninja skills. Knowing Kin is right and tired of always needing others' help, Sakura pulls out a kunai and then cuts her hair off to free herself, surprising the observing Ino and Kin. Sakura, no longer concerned for her own safety, launches an attack against Team Dosu. Although she makes dexterous usage of several basic ninjutsu, she is ultimately forced to resort to biting and other physical attacks. Seeing Sakura's determination, the nearby Ino thinks back to her childhood with Sakura, how the two used to be good friends. After Ino helped, Sakura gained some much-needed self-confidence. They parted ways so that their friendship would not interfere with their competition as rival ninja and love interests for Sasuke. Seeing that Sakura is beating her in both aspects, Ino forces her teammates on Team 10 to come to Sakura's rescue. Sasuke is still unconscious and sees himself young, wishing he had been stronger when his clan was massacred. Toji doesn't want to fight Team Dosu, but changes his mind when he's called fat. Ino tells Sakura to keep a watch on Naruto and Sasuke. Toji charges at Zaku, who fails to damage him. Doji tries to intervene, but is immobilized by Shikamaru. Ino takes over Kin and threatens to kill her, unless her teammates surrender their scroll and leave. Zaku attacks Ino in Kin's body, injuring her. He announces that they're not there to take the exam. Shikamaru's technique ends just as Neji and Tenten arrive. Neji says Dosu will pay for knocking out their teammate, but then notes he won't have to. Sasuke awakes, with the cursed seal on his body, and asks Sakura who hurt her. Zaku says he did. Sakura notes the cursed seal on Sasuke's body. Sasuke says he feels great, and that he understands that he's an Avenger, so he must gain power at whatever cost. He turns his attention to Team Dosu. Shikamaru gets apprehensive and rushes Ino to leave Kin's body, which she does. Dosu is scared by Sasuke's chakra, but Zaku ignores it and attacks Sakura. He thinks he landed a hit, but Sasuke is behind him, hitting him hard with one arm. Dosu notes to himself how fast Sasuke was, especially since he carried Naruto and Sakura. Sasuke attacks with a fire release technique, which Zaku defends against, but is hit by the shuriken hidden inside the flames. Sasuke reaches Zaku and breaks his arms. Ino notes that Sasuke's chakra is very different from when they were at the academy. Sakura remembers Orochimaru's words. When Sasuke turns to face Dosu, Sakura stops him, thinking he's not acting like himself. The cursed seal of heaven recedes, and Sasuke falls tired. Dosu surrenders his team's scroll, saying Sasuke is strong. He says he'll retreat for the time being, needing to find something out. But if they should cross paths again, he won't back down. He picks up Zaku and Kin, and Sakura asks about Orochimaru and his intentions with Sasuke. Dosu says he doesn't know, wondering as well. Neji ponders about Sasuke's abnormal chakra. Naruto finally wakes up. Believing that Orochimaru is still around, he warns everyone to hide, but is surprised to find that, not only is Orochimaru gone, but that the members of Team 10 and Team Guy are here, and that Sakura has cut her hair. Ino offers to even out Sakura's hair, and everyone rests from the encounter with Team Dosu. Meanwhile, Anko returns to the building, in the center of the Forest of Death, to report on her failure to apprehend Orochimaru. Before she can speak with the third Hokage on the matter, one of her assistants brings her a security tape from 10 hours earlier, a Genin team that completed the second phase in only 97 minutes. Anko observes that, in addition to completing the second phase in only 97 minutes, Gaara did so without even getting a speck of dust on him, something that would be almost impossible for even veteran ninja. 10 hours earlier, Team 8 had already acquired their second scroll and was proceeding to the second phase's ending destination. Along the way they came across Team Shigure, facing off with the three Sand siblings. Despite not knowing if each other had the scroll they needed, Shigure attacked Gaara, but Gaara's shield of sand protected him from any injury. Shigure's attack was unable to penetrate Gaara's shield of sand, which Kiba noted smelled of blood. Gaara proceeded to capture Shigure and crush him to death, using one of Shigure's umbrellas to prevent any blood from getting on him. Shigure's teammates forfeited their scroll in exchange for their own lives, but Gaara killed them in the same way that he killed Shigure. His bloodlust still not satisfied, Gaara attempted to kill the hiding teammate too, but was convinced to spare them by his siblings. Team 8 considers themselves fortunate to have survived an encounter with Gaara. 4 days after the second phase of the Chunin exams began, Team 7 has recovered from their battles with Orochimaru and Team Dosu. With the phase almost over and the team still in need of a second scroll, Naruto considers opening the scroll they already have, so that they can forge a second. He is stopped by Kabuto, who, having taken part in the exams several times before, warns that anyone that opens the scroll before the second phase is over, is rendered unconscious. Naruto thanks him for intervening. Having been separated from his team, Kabuto begins to leave to go and find them, when Sasuke asks to fight him. Because they needed another scroll, and because Kabuto was alone, Sasuke believes that defeating him would be their best chance to finish the second phase. Since Sasuke paid him a courtesy by explaining this instead of outright attacking him, Kabuto offers an alternative. He explains that other teams that are just now finishing are heading for the building in the center of the Forest of Death, with a false sense of security and tired after 4 days in the forest. Thus, if Sasuke and his team waits near the building, they may be able to take a scroll from one of the opposing teams. Kabuto then accompanies them to the building, but finds that they are trapped in a genjutsu, victims of another team with the same idea. Team Oboro surrounds Team 7 and Kabuto with their mist clones. Although the clones are apparently able to attack their enemies, all counterattacks pass through them. With his Sharingan, Sasuke realizes that the clones are only an illusion and thus are not actually able to attack the hiding members of Team Oboro, merely synchronizing their own attacks with that of the clones. Intending to make this a battle of clones, Naruto creates a group of shadow clones that fight the mist clones throughout the night. Later that morning, when Team 7 and Kabuto appear exhausted, Team Oboro reveals themselves so that they can take a scroll. The real Sasuke, Sasakura, and Kabuto then confront them, having switched places with disguised shadow clones during the night, so that they could rest. Surrounded, Team Oboro creates haze clones to try and avoid attack. While Team 7 is preoccupied with determining where the real members of Team Oboro are, Team Oboro tries to finish them off. Kabuto is badly injured while protecting Naruto, but he creates an opening for Naruto to defeat Team Oboro. Team 7 takes the scroll they need and goes to the exam destination point. Kabuto regroups with his team, and they part ways. Team 7 entering the building through a different door. Kabuto's team reports to Orochimaru on Sasuke's development, and Kabuto effortlessly heals his injuries. Team 7, having passed, are instructed to finally open their 2 scrolls. Team Kakashi open their Heaven and Earth scrolls, and Iruka Umino is summoned. He informs them that this test was to determine if they could perform their missions correctly. He then goes on to tell them the motto of the tune, written by the Hokage. The Hokage decides to continue on with the 3rd stage of the exam, despite the appearance of Orochimaru. The 7 remaining Genin teams line up to be briefed on the final test. The Hokage goes on to explain the true reason behind different countries taking the exam together. Hayate Gekko appears and tells the group about a preliminary to the 3rd stage of the test in order to cut down their numbers even further. Kabuto abandons the exam. Hayate Gekko explains that from now on the battles will be one-on-one. Kabuto's team is revealed to be working under Orochimaru. Sakura encourages Sasuke to give up, but he refuses. He also tells Naruto that he wants to fight with him. The Chunin take notice of Sasuke's condition and decide to step in if it worsens. Sasuke is chosen to fight in the first match along with Yoro Akade from Kabuto's team. Sasuke and Yoro prepare to fight, and the rest of the participants go upstairs to observe. Kakashi takes this opportunity to warn Sasuke not to use his cursed seal, stating that if he activates it, the match will end and Sasuke will be detained. Since he cannot use his Sharingan without inadvertently activating the cursed seal, Sasuke and the watching Orochimaru wonder how he will handle this handicap. When the match starts, Sasuke resorts to taijutsu, which gives Yoro ample opportunity to grab Sasuke and absorb his chakra. Knowing that a prolonged battle will leave him exhausted and thus unable to win, Sasuke uses his Lion Combo, a technique based off Rock Lee's Front Lotus, on Yoro. While using the Lion Combo on Yoro, Sasuke's cursed seal starts to activate. Fearing disqualification, he suppresses it and defeats Yoro, impressing everyone watching, particularly Orochimaru. Kakashi takes Sasuke away to seal off the cursed seal, disappointing Sasuke since he wants to see the other matches. Shino Aburame and Zaku Abumi are selected for the 2nd match. With Zaku's arms still damaged from his earlier fight with Sasuke, Shino suggests that he forfeit since they will only be damaged further. Not wanting his pity, Zaku uses his one good arm to shoot blades of wind at Shino from the tubes in the palms of his hands. Meanwhile, Kakashi seals off Sasuke's cursed seal. Orochimaru approaches him and tells him it is useless, as Sasuke's Sharingan will become his no matter what Kakashi does. Kakashi asks about his team Dosu, but Orochimaru no longer has an interest in them. Zaku realizes that he has become boxed in by Shino's bugs. Since he cannot destroy all of them with one arm, he unslings his other arm to attack. When he starts to shoot air from his palms, his arms detonate and sever, the tubes having been blocked off with bugs. Shino defeats him. Kakashi contemplates fighting Orochimaru by himself, but realizes that it would only result in his death. Orochimaru leaves, promising to take Sasuke at a later date. After having Sasuke taken care of, Kakashi returns to the preliminaries, assuring Sakura that Sasuke will be fine. Kakuro and Misumi Tsurugi are paired for the next match. Misumi quickly restrains Kakuro and threatens to break his neck if he doesn't surrender. When Kakuro refuses, Misumi does as he warned, only to find that he has broken the neck of a puppet. Kakuro takes advantage of Misumi's close proximity to the puppet to capture him and crush him, despite Misumi's attempts to give up, winning the match. Sakura and Ino are selected for the fourth match. Sakura and Ino think back on their childhoods together, and how, when they amicably ended their friendship, they agreed they would become rivals that would not show each other any sympathies. Intending to stay true to their promise, both relocate their forehead protectors to their forehead, removing any possibility of mercy by fighting as Konoha ninja, and not old friends. The two exchange blows and Sakura punches Ino in the face, making Ino happy that Sakura is taking things seriously. Sakura and Ino continue exchanging blows, being at par with each other. Neither is able to gain the upper hand, so both soon grow tired. Sakura berates Ino for being too focused on her appearance and beauty rather than her kunoichi skills, and Ino apparently snaps at her insults, cutting her hair and throwing it to the ground. Desperate, Ino tries to use her mind-body switch technique to force Sakura to forfeit, despite knowing how inaccurate it is and that she will be left defenseless if she misses. Sakura dodges the attack and appears to have won, but finds that she is immobilized by the strands of Ino's cut hair, which have been infused with chakra to form a binding rope. Ino is revealed to only have pretended to snap and to use the mind-body switch technique in order to lead Sakura into the trap. She uses the mind-body switch technique, again knowing it cannot miss, and succeeds on gaining control of Sakura's body. Having gained control of Sakura's body, Ino tries to make Sakura forfeit the match. Naruto yells to Sakura not to give up, prompting inner Sakura to appear and force Ino out of Sakura's mind. Although confused by what had happened, Ino lacks the energy to try again. Kakashi presumes that Ino's lack of chakra was a factor in Sakura's liberation, but also takes note of Sakura's strong will to not lose. Ino and an equally exhausted Sakura charge at each other to exchange final blows, resulting in a double knockout. Hayate decides that neither of them will pass to the next round. They are taken aside to recover while the fifth match between Temari and Tenten commences. When they wake up, they decide to resume their friendship, but will continue to compete for Sasuke's affection. Meanwhile, Temari defeats Tenten easily and swiftly, with all of Tenten's projectile weapons being rendered useless against her wind techniques. Shikamaru and Kin Tisachi are selected for the sixth match. Shikamaru immediately tries to catch Kin with his shadow, but she dodges and retaliates by throwing senbon at him. He avoids them only to be distracted by a sound behind him. He finds that there are bells attached to the senbon which, in turn, are attached to strings that Kin can use to ring them from a distance. She attacks him with another volley, but then finds she is paralyzed. Shikamaru having snuck his shadow over to her via the string's shadows. Shikamaru throws a shuriken at Kin, who, forced to copy his movements, does the same. As they both lean back to dodge, Kin hits her head on the wall, not having realized how close she was. Shikamaru wins, and Naruto and Kiba Inuzuka are chosen for the seventh match. Kiba, remembering what a terrible student Naruto was, claims that their fight will be an easy victory. He and his dog Akamaru, a permitted tool of battle, immediately attack, surprising Naruto by their speed and ferocity. Determined to not be looked down upon, Naruto writes off Kiba's attacks as pathetic. Kiba throws a smoke bomb to block Naruto's vision, while Akamaru attacks him. When the smoke clears, Akamaru stands beside a defeated Naruto. Akamaru returns to Kiba but immediately bites him, being Naruto in disguise, while a shadow clone restrains the real Akamaru. The observers are impressed by Naruto's tactics. Kiba tosses a pill to Akamaru, giving him the strength to escape the shadow clone's grasp. Kiba then turns Akamaru into a copy of himself, making them equally formidable and leaving Naruto unable to determine which is the real Kiba. They both double-team Naruto, but Naruto is unwilling to give in with everyone's eyes now upon him. Kiba taunts his hopes of victory and attacks again. Naruto turns himself into another Kiba to try and confuse Kiba and Akamaru. Kiba, with his superior sense of smell, attacks the Kiba he believes to be the fake, but the Kiba turns into Akamaru after being hit. Thinking he has made a mistake, Kiba attacks the second Kiba, assuming it is Naruto in disguise, but it turned out to be the real Akamaru. When Kiba attacks Naruto, the first lookalike, Naruto turns himself into Akamaru to turn them against each other. With Akamaru incapacitated, Naruto prepares to finish the battle. Kiba quickly appears behind Naruto in an effort to gain revenge, but Naruto farts. With his heightened sense of smell, Kiba is disoriented, leaving him open for the Naruto Uzumaki combo. Naruto is declared the winner, shocking all of his former classmates who, like Kiba, used to think he was an untalented idiot. Kiba is carried away to recover. Before leaving, he pleads with Hinata to forfeit if she is matched against Gaara or Neji Hyuga. Hinata and Neji are paired together for the 8th preliminary match, and Hinata does not take Kiba's advice. Cousins, Neji and Hinata, are members of separate houses of the Hyuga clan, which Neji resents. He ridicules Hinata for being weak, and thus undeserving of her superior standing within their family, and tells her to give up. He analyzes her personality shortcomings and deems her a failure, which almost brings her to tears. Upset by Neji's words, Naruto encourages Hinata to defeat him. Inspired by Naruto's confidence in her, Hinata sheds the fears she had had only moments earlier. While Neji is surprised by Hinata's newfound determination, he maintains that Hinata will lose. The two Hyuga begin trading gentle fist-style blows, a form of combat that causes internal injuries. Hinata is able to block some of Neji's attacks and land a couple of attacks herself. However, Neji reveals that since the beginning of their fight, he has been cutting off Hinata's chakra points, making her attacks ineffective. Despite this, Hinata refuses to give up. Neji does not understand why Hinata would continue to fight when she can no longer hope to win. Naruto continues to encourage her, so Hinata continues to attack Neji. Glad to have Naruto's attention at long last, Hinata strikes Neji despite knowing her attacks are not doing anything. Neji inflicts increasingly worse internal injuries upon Hinata, prompting Hayate Gekko to try and end the match. Naruto stops him, giving Hinata a chance to speak. She tells Neji that although he claims she suffers as the heiress of the Hayate clan, he suffers more for only being a member of the clan's branch family. Neji tries to kill her, but is stopped by the attending Jonin. When Hinata collapses, Naruto comes to her side, who catches a brief glimpse of him before losing consciousness. Neji then criticizes Naruto for his pointless cheering, and then states once someone becomes a failure, they will always be a failure. Naruto tries to attack Neji for being so merciless to his own cousin. He is stopped by Lee, who states that this is not the right time for a clash between a genius and a failure. Hinata is rushed away to have her injuries healed. Naruto takes some of her spilled blood and swears upon it in front of everyone that he will defeat Neji. As the participants of the 9th match are being picked, the 4 remaining contestants ready themselves. Gaara and Lee are selected, and both enter the arena, glad to have the chance to fight each other. Lee attacks Gaara. By manipulating the sand he keeps stored in the gourd on his back, Gaara is able to block all of Lee's attacks. Seeing that Lee will not get anywhere as he currently is, Guy tells Lee to take them off. Lee complies, removing his ankle weights. The observers doubt the likelihood that their removal will make much of a difference, but find that, when dropped, the weights create large craters in the ground. Lee's speed is greatly increased, allowing him to attack Gaara before his defenses have a chance to respond. The Sunagakure representatives are shocked that Lee has managed to strike Gaara. After Lee lands some additional blows, they begin to grow concerned, as Gaara is becoming increasingly more interested in the fight. Gaara reveals that his body is coated in a layer of sand which has absorbed the impact of Lee's attacks. Knowing that there is nothing he can do about this defense, Lee opts to attack in such a way that not even Gaara's armor can protect him. Lee uses Front Lotus on Gaara, but during a brief series of pain, gives Gaara the chance to escape his grasp. With Lee's movements being slowed after using the Front Lotus, Gaara attacks him. Watching Lee at Gaara's mercy, Guy thinks back on Lee's childhood and how, despite his horrid ninjutsu and genjutsu skills, Lee dreamed of being a splendid ninja. Guy encouraged him to put his determination to good use in mastering taijutsu. Having succeeded in this goal, Lee suddenly dodges Gaara's attacks. Guy reveals that Lee is able to open the 8 gates. Kakashi reprimands him, stating that to teach Lee such a dangerous technique is foolish. Lee opens the first 5 gates, removing several natural limits on the body that ordinarily keep the user from harming themselves. Lee's speed and strength are drastically increased, allowing him to use the reverse lotus. He assaults Gaara, whose sand defenses are completely unable to react. Lee attacks Gaara with his reverse lotus. Gaara turns the gourd on his back into sand at the last moment, acting as a shield that absorbs most of the impact. With Lee unable to move after the attack, Gaara, using his sand, methodically breaks Lee's limbs as punishment for thinking he could defeat him. Since Lee is unable to defend himself, Guy steps in, confused that Guy would come to Lee's aid. Gaara relents and is declared the winner. However, although Lee has lost consciousness, he stands to continue the fight. Seeing Lee's continuing wish to prove his skills, Guy is moved to tears. Medics take Lee away to tend to his injuries. After a brief examination, they inform Guy that the damage Lee sustained is too severe to be healed, and that Lee will likely never again be able to operate as a ninja. Devastated that Lee's dreams have been shattered because of an attack he taught him, Guy is sad at Lee's injuries. He leaves the arena so that the final match between Dosu Kanuta and Shoji Akimichi can take place. As Dosu prepares to enter the arena, he thinks about how he finally figured out that Orochimaru's true goal was not to have Team Dosu kill Sasuke, but to have them unknowingly test Sasuke's abilities. Which explains as to why Orochimaru went ahead and gave Sasuke a cursed seal instead of killing him, with Dosu silently remarking that he will not fulfill Orochimaru's wish and that he will win this match to fight Sasuke. Having prior experience with Dosu's sound-based attack, Shoji tries to use his techniques to block out the sound's effect on his ears. This only provides Dosu with an amplified medium for his sound waves, knocking Shoji out and winning him the match, much to the dismay of Team Asuma. Dosu then silently vows that he will teach Orochimaru that he is no guinea pig. With the final match over, Hayate then announces that the trials for the Round 3 test have been completed. With the preliminaries over, Kakashi leaves to check on Sasuke. The third Hokage informs the finalists that they will compete in a month's time in a series of one-on-one matches. During this time, they can recover from the past few days and prepare for their opponents, having had a chance to see everyone's abilities. Meanwhile, Orochimaru is concerned about Naruto's positive influence over Sasuke, and as such, the faster they tear both Naruto and Sasuke apart, the better, with Orochimaru adding that he must dye Sasuke in his colors. He then instructs Kabuto to kidnap Sasuke for him, or kill Sasuke, whichever Kabuto prefers. Kabuto goes to Sasuke's hospital room and kills all of his Anbu bodyguards. As he holds a scalpel to Sasuke's neck, Kakashi appears and stops him. Kakashi tries to detain Kabuto to find out about his relationship with Orochimaru. After restraining Kabuto, one of the dead Anbu gets up and flees, but not before revealing himself as the real Kabuto, Kakashi having captured a reanimated corpse that only looks like Kabuto. Meanwhile, the first round matches of the Chunin exams finals are determined. Naruto will fight Neji, then Gaara versus Sasuke, then Shino against Kankuro. Shikamaru will fight Dosu, and the winner of that match will fight Temari. The third Hokage assures them all that they do not need to win their matches to advance in rank, only that they prove themselves worthy of Chuninship. They disperse, and Naruto, needing additional training if he is going to defeat Neji, seeks out Kakashi. Intending to train Sasuke, Kakashi offers Ebisu as an alternative. Believing Ebisu to be a pervert, Naruto tries to refuse his training. Not wanting to be embarrassed in front of Kakashi, Ebisu bribes Naruto to keep quiet. Kakashi explains that Naruto's weakest point are his basic ninja skills, which Ebisu can help with. Ebisu explains that Naruto wastes too much chakra when performing jutsu, tiring him out faster and leaving his jutsu less effective. It is only because he has so much chakra that this has never been a problem. They leave Kakashi to go train at the hot springs. After preventing Naruto from spying on the bathing women, Ebisu instructs Naruto in how to improve his chakra control by walking on water. While Naruto struggles to do this, Ebisu spots another man spying on the women. He tries to stop the man, but is knocked out by the man's toad. Having had his instructor knocked out, Naruto attempts to make the Toad Sage take responsibility and help him with his training. Initially denied by the sage, Naruto uses his sexy technique to convince him to train him. Naruto begins training again to walk on water, and the sage, noticing the seal, removes it, allowing Naruto to once again control his chakra. Later, Dosu attempts to kill Gaara in order to increase his chances of fighting Sasuke. Hayate Gekko, having seen the aftermath of Gaara's transformation, is killed by Baki after the latter finishes his conversation with Kabuto. Elsewhere, Jiraiya explains to Naruto about the two types of chakra within him, and begins teaching him the summoning technique. Naruto continues to struggle with summoning toads, to Jiraiya's irritation. Meanwhile, with Konoha suspecting some sort of attack by Orochimaru, the villagers Jonin prepare for the worst. Kakashi in particular trains to reach his best, while also helping Sasuke with his approaching match in the Chunin exams. Sakura, unaware that Sasuke has left with Kakashi, goes to the Konoha hospital to visit him. There she finds Lee resuming his own training, despite the injuries he received during the preliminaries. When his training only makes his injuries worse, she leaves him the flower she had brought for Sasuke. Worried about what Orochimaru may be planning, the third Hokage visits the Hokage Rock to think. There he finds his grandson, Konohamaru's academy class, learning about the four Hokage. When they doubt his qualifications as Hokage given his age, the third assures them that he would give his life to protect each and every one of them, just as they would their own friends and family. Meanwhile, with Naruto's progress with the summoning technique going too slowly, Jiraiya takes drastic measures. He throws Naruto into a deep chasm, depending on Naruto reflexively using the Nine Tails chakra to save himself. In Tsunagakure, the fourth Kazekage gives Team Baki their orders in regarding to the planned invasion of Konoha. Despite the team's misgivings, because they are the only Suna representatives permitted in Konoha, because of the Chunin exams, their participation is crucial, particularly Gaara's. Meanwhile, Naruto, unable to stop his fall, and fearing his death, learns to communicate with the Nine Tails sealed within him. He convinces the Nine Tails to donate some of its chakra to save both of their lives, and the fox complies. With its help, he is able to summon Gamabunta. Gamabunta stops Naruto's fall, but is irritated both to have been summoned in a chasm and to have a kid like Naruto on his head. Naruto reprimands Gamabunta for doubting his master, but is quelled by Gamabunta's anger. Naruto agrees to become Gamabunta's disciple if he will help them get out of the pit. Gamabunta leaps out, but Naruto passes out from the strain. When he sees the toad summoning contract that Jiraiya left behind, Gamabunta discovers that Naruto really did summon him and takes him to the hospital to recuperate. When Naruto wakes up, he is greeted by Shikamaru, who decided to come visit him. While talking, they sense Gaara trying to kill Rock Lee, so they rush to Lee's room to stop him. Naruto and Shikamaru ask why Gaara would want to kill Lee, but Gaara has no particular reason. They point out that, being 2 against 1, they have the advantage. But Gaara is unconcerned and promises to kill them too. Gaara explains that he contains a monster, his mother's life having been sacrificed at his birth to seal a demon within him, and give him control over sand. In the years that followed, Gaara's father tried to have him assassinated to repent for making him what he is. But Gaara killed all of his attackers. His life having been surrounded by death, he finds love by killing others. While similar, both having something sealed within them, Naruto realizes that Gaara's tragic background has made him too dangerous for them to defeat. As Gaara prepares to attack, Gaara arrives and forces Gaara to leave. The day of the Chunin exams finals has arrived. Naruto is worried about his upcoming match with Neji and takes a detour on his way to the stadium where the finals will be held. He finds Hinata training along the way and speaks with her. Naruto tells her his concerns and how he, a failure, may not be able to defeat Neji, a genius. Hinata assures him that it is because he is not perfect, not a genius, that he will win, as he constantly strives to improve himself, which she finds inspiring. Naruto thanks her and asks her to come watch him defeat Neji. He arrives at the stadium and stands with the other 7 finalists before the audience. The third Hokage greets the fourth Kazekage, the two intending to watch the finals together. The finalists are informed of modifications to the match lineup. Dosu's death, meaning that Shikamaru will fight Temari in his first match. Sasuke, similarly, has not arrived yet, and his absence will be dealt with when the time comes. Until then, Naruto and Neji prepare for their fight, and the other finalists leave the arena. Hinata sits with Kiba to watch the match. Kiba notices that there are Anbu in the audience and wonders what is happening. Naruto repeats his vow to defeat Neji, who scoffs at the very suggestion. Naruto begins the fight by creating a few shadow clones. Neji easily defeats them all, despite the fact that the clones attack from his blind spot. Neji tells him to give up, since, as he explains it, Naruto was fated at birth to fail while he was destined for greatness. Naruto attacks again with even more shadow clones, but Neji ignores them, noticing that one Naruto is staying out of Neji's reach. Assuming that this is the real Naruto, Neji attacks him. The Naruto disperses while the real Naruto attacks Neji from behind, having hidden amongst his shadow clones. Naruto manages to punch Neji, but Neji deflects the attack with his 8 trigrams, palms revolving heaven. Combining his Byakugan's 360 degrees vision with his ability to emit chakra from any part of his body, Neji is virtually impervious to attack. Hayashi Hyuga, the head of the Hyuga clan, is amazed that Neji, a member of the clan's branch house, can perform this technique, and at such a young age. He is even more amazed when Neji attacks Naruto with the 8 trigrams 64 palms. Naruto's chakra is sealed off, but he refuses to give up, unwilling to lose to someone who believes in failure. Hinata's concern for Naruto and the injuries she earlier received from Neji cause her to start coughing up blood. An Anbu offers to help her, as a Anbu tends to Hinata. Neji explains the cruel background of the Hyuga clan by first revealing the cursed seal on his forehead. When Hinata the Hyuga heiress turned 3, Neji received the cursed seal to bind him to a life as her protector. Because Neji had much more natural talent than Hinata, his father, Hisashi, also a member of the branch house, came to resent this denial of Neji's potential. Soon afterwards, when Hisashi, head of the Hyuga clan and Hinata's father, killed a Kumagakura ninja that tried to kidnap Hinata, Hisashi, Hisashi's twin brother, was given to Kumagakura as a body double to ease relations between Kumo and Konoha. Neji concludes that his father was brought into the world so that he could die for the main branch's benefit. The Anbu healing Hinata finishes and gives her a chance to rest. He then knocks out Kiba. Meanwhile, although Neji believes his story proves the existence of fate, Naruto still refuses to give up. Neji attacks Naruto, but he keeps getting back up, saying that he knows what it is like to bear something as seemingly unshakable as destiny. With his own chakra gone, he requests the Nine Tails to give him its own. As its chakra starts flowing through Naruto, Neji is left speechless by the chakra's demonic qualities and its healing Naruto's wounds. Watching veteran ninja of Konoha are also surprised, recognizing the fox's aura from 12 years earlier. When Naruto is invigorated with enhanced speed and strength by the Nine Tails chakra, he attacks Neji. Neji has difficulty keeping up, but is able to match Naruto's attacks. As the Nine Tails chakra clashes with Neji's 8 trigrams palms revolving heaven, the two are flung apart. When the dust clears, Naruto lies defeated. Neji starts to berate him for thinking he could win, when Naruto bursts from the ground beneath him and delivers an uppercut. Seeing that Naruto used a shadow clone to cover the hole he dug, Neji scolds himself for being defeated by Naruto's signature ability. Naruto corrects him by saying that creating clones was always his weak point, so Neji should stop obsessing over inescapable destiny. The crowd praises Naruto's victory, with the veteran ninja impressed that he could learn to control the Nine Tails power. As Naruto basks in the attention, Neji is taken away to recover. Hisashi comes to visit him, to tell him the truth of Hisashi, Neji's father's, death. When relations between Kumo and Konoha became strained, and Kumo wanted Hiyashi's head, Konoha and the Hyuga clan suggested substituting Hisashi with Hisashi. Hisashi was reluctant to offer up his brother, but Hisashi insisted, wishing to choose his fate at last by dying, not for the clan's benefit, but to save his brother. Neji doubts the validity of the story, until Hiashi bows his head for forgiveness. Moved, Neji realizes that it is true and abandons his concept of destiny, instead expressing a desire to become strong enough to never lose again. The second match of the finals is scheduled to be between Sasuke and Gaara. Since Sasuke is missing, the third Hokage considers disqualifying him, but the fourth Kazekage suggests postponing the match since so many members of the audience are looking forward to it. The fight between Shino and Kankuro is to take place, but Kankuro, having expected the Konoha crush to begin before his match, forfeits so that he doesn't need to reveal his puppet's modifications. Shikamaru vs Temari takes place instead. When Shikamaru shows little enthusiasm, Temari attacks him. Shikamaru hides from Temari in a patch of trees. Kaino yells to him to end the fight quickly, but Choji predicts that Shikamaru will find some reason to forfeit. Temari gets increasingly annoyed because Shikamaru is hiding and not fighting in a conventional way. Shikamaru tries to catch Temari with his shadow, but she, while dodging it, realizes that it has a limited range. She also reasons that he is hiding in the trees to take advantage of the trees' shadows to extend his range. Knowing that he will only gain more shadows as the battle progresses, Temari tries to end the fight quickly. After meditating on the factors of fight, Shikamaru comes up with a plan, and after avoiding her attacks, tries to catch her again, but she stays out of its range once more. Out of his shadow's current range, Temari considers how to defeat Shikamaru. While thinking, she realizes that he has gained a new shadow source, a parachute made from his shirt that provides some much-needed surface area. She avoids the attack and formulates a plan. As she is about to implement it, she notices she has finally been captured. Now forced to mimic his movements, Shikamaru lets her see how she was caught. He had been navigating her to the tunnel that Naruto created during his match, where he was hiding his shadow. Having been manipulated for the entire battle, Temari prepares for defeat when Shikamaru forfeits, claiming to have exhausted himself from trying to catch her, fulfilling Shoji's prediction. Naruto leaps into the arena to ask Shikamaru why he would forfeit a match he was clearly winning. The observing veteran ninja recognized that Shikamaru was fully aware of his abilities and was not willing to claim victory just to risk his safety in a later match. The true mark of a Shurin. Lee and Guy arrive at the stadium to watch the finals, but are surprised to learn that Neji was defeated by Naruto. Lee is happy for Naruto. With all of the other first-round final matches done, the audience wonders if the remaining match between Sasuke and Gaara will occur. Sasuke arrives with Kakashi at the last moment, allowing the match to proceed. The audience is glad to finally see Sasuke. Naruto warns him not to lose if they are to fight each other before leaving the arena with Shikamaru. Lee, seeing that Sasuke will get to fight Gaara and that Naruto got to fight Neji, feels jealous that they get to continue their lives as ninja. Gaara walks down to the arena but kills 2 Kusagakure ninja along the way. Seeing what he has done, and knowing he would have killed them if he had come across them first, Naruto and Shikamaru are paralyzed with fear as Gaara quietly walks past them. As the fight between Sasuke and Gaara commences, Kakashi apologizes to Sakura for worrying her by being late. He then remarks to Guy about the Anbu presence in the stadium, Konoha not knowing how or when they will be attacked. Naruto, knowing how dangerous Gaara is, realizes that the only person who can currently satisfy his bloodlust is Sasuke. At the same moment, Sasuke begins attacking Gaara fast enough to bypass his shield of sand, oddly reminiscent of Lee's fighting style. Kakashi explains that, having seen Lee's fighting style before with his Sharingan, Sasuke has been training this last month to reproduce his speed. Lee knows from prior experience that speed is not enough to defeat Gaara, but Guy recognizes that the speed must serve some other purpose. After he continues to be pummeled by Sasuke, Gaara retreats into a shield of sand, which he shaped into a sphere, to give himself time to prepare. Sasuke is unable to break through this defense with speed alone. Naruto, worried that Sasuke will be killed, races to the arena to try and stop the match. Kakashi promises that there was a good reason for why they were late. Sealed within his shield of sand, Gaara prepares for how he will kill Sasuke. Still unable to pierce it, Sasuke falls back to prepare his own attack. Naruto pleads with Kakashi to end the match, but Kakashi merely tells him to watch. Sasuke readies the Chidori, Kakashi's signature technique that he spent that last month teaching to Sasuke. Combining the Chidori's piercing potential with the speed mimicked from Lee, Sasuke charges at Gaara and breaks through the sphere, surprising all observers. Not only did Sasuke's Chidori pierce the shield of sand, but it also managed to damage Gaara. This being the first time he has ever been injured, Gaara is distraught and ends the transformation he was working towards midway. Naruto, despite having worried for Sasuke's safety moments earlier, is suddenly envious. Since Gaara's injury has ruined their original plans, the Suna and Oto try a different approach. A genjutsu is placed over the stadium, putting most of the audience to sleep. The fourth Kazekage attacks the third Hokage, beginning the Konoha Crush. Giant snakes begin assaulting Konoha's borders. In the stadium of the Shunin exams finals, the Anbu try to come to the third Hokage's rescue. The fourth Kazekage takes the Hokage hostage and has the Sound Force seal them in, preventing the Anbu's intervention. The Kazekage removes his disguise, revealing himself as Orochimaru, and promises to kill the Hokage, his old master. Meanwhile, the few Konoha ninja in the audience that were able to avoid the sleeping genjutsu prepare to defend the village. Gaara flees with his siblings, and Sasuke follows them to continue the battle they started. Sunagakure ninja begin invading Konoha, and Konoha's forces respond accordingly. In the Chunin exam stadium, the conscious Konoha ninja, despite wishing to try and help the third Hokage in his fight with Orochimaru, engage the few Otogakure ninja that managed to infiltrate the village earlier. Since Sakura is also awake, Kakashi protects her. He instructs her to wake up Naruto and Shikamaru, so that can take part in a mission vital to the village. Meanwhile, Orochimaru is elated that he finally has an opportunity to kill the third Hokage. The two prepare to fight. Kakashi tasks Sakura to pursue Sasuke and stop him from engaging the three Sand siblings. He summons Pakun to guide her and has them wake up Naruto and Shikamaru, the latter of whom is only pretending to be asleep, before sending them on their way, amidst an ongoing battle between Konoha and Oto. The third Hokage prepares for battle. He attacks and Orochimaru summons three coffins. The third attempts to stop them, but two of the coffins successfully open. To share the thrill of getting to fight one's former masters, Orochimaru summons the first Hokage and the second Hokage for Sarutobi's benefit. Meanwhile, Sakura informs Naruto and Shikamaru of the mission given to them by Kakashi. Pakun alerts them to the fact that they are being followed by 9 Otogakure ninja. Naruto suggests ambushing them, but Shikamaru states that this would waste too much time and that it would make no difference since they are all underqualified to neutralize the ninja. Shikamaru volunteers to stay behind and buy time for Naruto and Sakura to catch up to Sasuke. The Oto ninja pick up on his trail, but it does not stop them from getting trapped by his shadow technique. Shikamaru quickly realizes that he does not have enough chakra to immobilize 8 Otogakure ninja. What's more, he realizes that he has missed one of the group, and hypothesizes that the 9th had been keeping his distance from the others in case of an ambush. He attacks the 8 to confirm his suspicions, and the 9th protects them. Although he now knows the 9th's location, Shikamaru lacks the energy to capture him too. Accepting that he will die, Shikamaru waits until he can no longer contain the 8 ninja. Once they are free, however, Asuma appears with the 9th in tow and kills the remaining 8, thanking Shikamaru for lasting so long. Meanwhile, Orochimaru robs the first Hokage and the second Hokage of their free will so that their memories will not get in the way of fighting Sarutobi. Sarutobi attacks with a fire technique, which the second Hokage neutralizes with a water technique. The first Hokage follows with one of his signature wood release techniques, immobilizing Sarutobi. Sarutobi summons Enma and has him transform into a staff to release him. Sarutobi attacks Orochimaru with Enma, and Orochimaru parries with his Kusanagi. In the midst of his attacks, Sarutobi plants explosive tags on the first and second. Although it removes their legs, the damage regenerates, a side effect of the technique used to reincarnate them. Seeing that a normal fight will accomplish nothing, and that he is already tiring, Sarutobi prepares for his death. Just as Hiruzen is about to perform his last technique, Orochimaru removes his face, revealing that of a young woman underneath. Realizing that Orochimaru has learned how to switch to others' bodies as a form of immortality, Sarutobi thinks back on how Orochimaru came to be expelled from Konoha, how he had caught Orochimaru experimenting on his fellow Konoha ninja in order to achieve immortality. With Orochimaru finally having proven successful, and already knowing of his interest in Sasuke, the Hokage states that Orochimaru's true intentions for this Konoha crush are to gain the Sharingan. Orochimaru restores his original face so that Hiruzen can continue to fight his former protege. The first Hokage and the second Hokage attack again, and Sarutobi once more reflects on the last time he saw Orochimaru. After being caught committing an unforgivable crime, Orochimaru gave Hiruzen the chance to kill him, but he hesitated, and Orochimaru fled, allowing him to at long last carry out his dream of achieving greatness. Hoping to repent for this mistake, Hiruzen creates 2 shadow clones and then performs the dead demon-consuming seal. The first Hokage and the second Hokage attack Sarutobi's shadow clones, but the clones still manage to catch each of the former Hokage. The dead demon-consuming seal grabs the Hokage's souls, breaking all of the jutsu in play and allowing them a brief return to their senses. Sarutobi apologizes to both for what he is about to do, and then seals away their souls with the move also revealing the dead bodies of Kintsuchi and Zaku Ebumi, both of whom were used as sacrifices to summon the 2 Hokage. Angry that Orochimaru could make such casual use of others' lives, the real Sarutobi tries to do the same to him. Sensing what is happening, Orochimaru summons his Kusanagi back to him, which Enema tries to stop. Despite Enema's efforts, Sarutobi is stabbed in the back by Orochimaru's Kusanagi. Orochimaru assures him that he will now die, but Sarutobi is unconcerned. His death guaranteed because of the dead demon-consuming seal. Sarutobi explains the nature of the seal, how it defeated the 9-tailed demon fox, and then struggles to find the strength to complete the sealing of Orochimaru's soul. Meanwhile, Jiraiya finally takes part in Konoha's defense, stopping the snakes rampaging through the village. Elsewhere, Sasuke catches up to the 3 Sand siblings. Kankuro volunteers to fight Sasuke to give Gaara a chance to escape, but Shino appears and volunteers to fight Kankuro to give Sasuke a chance to catch up to Gaara again. Sasuke reluctantly agrees to let Shino deal with Kankuro. Shino prepares his Kikaishu, while Kankuro prepares his Karasu. Gaara, sensing that Sasuke is near, sends Temari away so that they can face each other, the monster within him craving Sasuke's blood. Having dreamt of fulfilling this lust for the past month, Gaara begins the transformation that he initiated during the Shun exams. Kankuro attacks Shino with Karasu, but Shino avoids the attack thanks to his Kikachik. Karasu follows up with a poisonous gas attack. Shino just barely evades it, but in doing so, walks into another attack. Meanwhile, Sarutobi continues to struggle to remove Orochimaru's soul. At the same time, his likeness on the Hokage rock cracks, worrying the ninja who see it. Shino is able to swarm Karasu with Kikachik, but Kankuro still manages to get off another attack. The attack falls short, Shino having finally managed to guide his Kikachik to Kankuro's location. The Kikachik consume Kankuro's chakra, and Shino passes out from the gas he earlier inhaled, trusting the rest of the battle to Sasuke. Gaara, partially transformed, attacks Sasuke, and Sasuke has difficulty dodging. He thinks back to an earlier encounter with Gaara, wherein Gaara explained his interest in killing in Sasuke. Gaara recognizes that Sasuke has known true loss and loneliness, and now seeks strength. As these are also traits Gaara possesses, Gaara believes they are the same. By killing Sasuke, Gaara would prove himself superior, and thus feel truly alive. Intending not to give Gaara what he wants, and to make sure he will be able to kill his brother, Itachi, Sasuke attacks Gaara with Chidori. The pain caused by Chidori only increases Gaara's interest in the battle. After advancing his transformation further, he attacks Sasuke again, this time even faster than before. Knowing Chidori is the only way to damage Gaara, Sasuke remembers what Kakashi told him about the technique, that his limit is 2 uses per day, and if he tried to exceed that, he would die. Having already used Chidori twice, and knowing he will die anyway if he doesn't try, Sasuke uses a third Chidori. Activating the cursed seal, to give him the needed strength. While the attack succeeds, Sasuke is unable to move afterwards. Gaara quickly recovers and moves to finish Sasuke, but is stopped by Naruto. Naruto has difficulty recognizing Gaara in his transformed state. When Pakken tells him who it is, Naruto remembers Gaara's claim that he is a monster and realizes he wasn't exaggerating. Naruto suggests running, but Gaara takes his preoccupation to try and kill Sasuke. Sakura shields him, but Gaara immobilizes her. Tormented about her selfless act, Gaara reflects on his childhood. When Gaara was a child in Sanagashua, he only wanted friends. His peers feared him for being the host of Shukaku, and ran when he was nearby, and he would accidentally attack them while trying to stop them. Sympathizing with them, Gaara wondered what it was to feel pain. Ignorant of pain because of Shukaku's protection, Gaara asked his uncle, Yashimaru, about it. Yashimaru tried to put the sensation to words, after which Gaara came to believe he felt pain in his heart. Trying to explain the difference between physical and emotional pain, Yashimaru told him that emotional pain could only be cured with love. Yashimaru added that both he and Gaara's mother, who gave her life to seal Shukaku within him, loved him. Excited, Gaara tried to find new sources of love to make his pain go away, but found none, not even from his father. While ruing his fate one night Gaara was attacked, he easily dealt with his attacker, only to discover afterwards that it was Yashimaru. Gaara apologized to Yashimaru for harming him, explaining that he didn't know who it was. He tried to rationalize Yashimaru's attack as an order of the fourth Kazekage, but Yashimaru assured him that he had volunteered for the job. Despite his best efforts, Yashimaru had never been able to love Gaara. Gaara's existence coming at the cost of his sister's life. Gaara's mother, since she didn't love Gaara either, Yashimaru tried to end Gaara's life by blowing himself up. Gaara survived and came to find love in proving his existence by killing others. Now intending to kill Naruto and his friends, Gaara attacks them. Naruto tries to summon Gamabunta to help him, but can only manage to summon Gamakichi. To make sure that Naruto stays committed to the battle, Gaara begins to slowly suffocate Sakura, explaining that she will only be released if he is defeated. He then attacks Naruto, who protects Gamakichi from harm. Gaara's transformation continues to progress, and Naruto realizes that he might have turned out just like Gaara if he hadn't met Iruka and Team 7. Although he wonders if he can really defeat someone driven by so much hate, Naruto attacks, knowing that under no circumstances can he allow himself to lose. With a newfound resolve to win, Naruto attacks Gaara with a group of shadow clones. He lands a lucky blow, damaging Gaara's defenseless underside, but this only gives Gaara a greater interest in killing him. Sasuke steps in, telling Naruto to free Sakura from Gaara's prison and flee. Having lost his entire family, Sasuke will not allow his teammates to die too, they being the only precious things he has left. Remembering Haku's words that strength can be gained when protecting others, Naruto refuses to run, instead creating 1,000 shadow clones to properly start round 2. As Naruto and his 1,000 shadow clones attack a vulnerable Gaara, all of the onlookers are completely surprised. As a last resort, Gaara completely transforms into Shukaku and tries to crush Naruto with his sand. Still refusing to lose, Naruto uses the Nine-Tails chakra to summon Gamabunta to escape. Seeing Shukaku, Gamabunta has no interest in fighting, especially since Naruto has yet to earn his trust. Gamakichi, Gamabunta's son, assures his father that Naruto is a good person since he protected him from Gaara. Enraged that anyone would attack a member of his family, Gamabunta agrees to help. Gamabunta attacks Gaara in his full Shukaku transformation. Fascinated by Naruto's ability to summon Gamabunta, Gaara puts himself to sleep to bring out Shukaku's personality, giving it control of the Shukaku likeness. Elated to have been released, Shukaku attacks, and Gamabunta has difficulty dodging. Knowing they cannot win a long-range battle, Gamabunta asks Naruto to transform him into another creature, better equipped for close combat. Naruto turns him into a fox, which attacks Shukaku. As the two giants clash, Naruto leaps from Gamabunta to attack Gaara, intending to wake him up. Naruto manages to wake Gaara up, suppressing Shukaku's personality again. Angered by Naruto's actions, Gaara tries to crush him with sand, but Gamabunta protects him with his tongue. Remembering that Sakura's life is at risk, Naruto is flooded with the Nine-Tails chakra. He charges at Gaara, and Gaara tries to restrain him, but Naruto persists, eventually headbutting him. The Shukaku likeness crumbles, and both Naruto and Gaara fall to the earth, ready to exchange one final blow. At the Chunin exam stadium, the invaders have been dealt with. The third Hokage, meanwhile, realizes that he lacks the strength to remove Orochimaru's entire soul and settles for putting an end to his schemes. Orochimaru encourages the third Hokage to give up and die, especially since nothing he does can stop him from destroying Konoha and its inhabitants. The third ridicules Orochimaru for never having appreciated the caliber of Konoha ninja. At the same time, all across the village, the veteran ninja come to the village's defense. Yugao Uzuki vows to avenge Hayate. Hayashi Hoga defeats dozens of invaders. The fathers of Team 10 team up again for the first time in years. Shibi Aburame saves his son Shino from the poison he earlier inhaled. Sume, Hana Inuzuka, and their Ninkin prepare for battle. The two remaining invaders in the Chunin exam stadium are surrounded. Naruto and Gaara leap at each other, promising to teach Orochimaru that strength is not determined by one's techniques. The third uses the dead demon consuming seal to seal away his arms. The third looks upon his former student one last time and dies smiling, just as Naruto manages to defeat Gaara. Gaara, defeated, and Naruto, exhausted, fall to the ground. The lifeless body of the third Hokage falls to the ground, and Orochimaru curses him for sealing his arms, thereby leaving him unable to perform techniques. Now unable to continue the Konoha crush, Orochimaru flees with the Sound 4 in tow. Seeing this, Baki and Kabuto follow suit, knowing they have been defeated. Temari collects Kankuro, and Sasuke makes sure Sakura is okay before proceeding to Naruto. Naruto crawls towards Gaara, who, fearing he is going to be finished off, tells him to stay away. Naruto only sympathizes with everything Gaara has gone through, telling him that he might have ended up just like him if he hadn't found friends. Accordingly, if Gaara harms those friends, Naruto will have no choice but to kill him. Seeing that Naruto's strength is gained from fighting for others, Gaara questions his practice of thinking only for himself. While Temari and Kankuro carry him home, he apologizes to them, which shocks Temari and Kankuro. The remaining invaders flee Konoha, and the Konoha ninja gather around the third's body. Two cloaked individuals look upon a devastated Konoha. 2 days after the failed Konoha crush, a funeral for the third Hokage is held. Iruka comforts the third's grandson, Konohamaru, and reflects on his own experiences with the third. When Iruka was upset by the death of his parents, the third assured him that they and all others who die in the village's service live on so long as Konoha exists. Kakashi and Yugao visit the memorial stone in memory of others that have died before going to the ceremony. Jiraiya watches them and thinks about his time under the third's tutelage, shedding a tear over how perverted he and his master were. Naruto asks Iruka why people die to protect others, to which Iruka responds, "It is human nature." Agreeing, Naruto leaves with the rest of Team 7, and Iruka remarks that the third will inevitably be replaced by someone else, who is an equally great Hokage. Kabuto examines Orochimaru, concluding that there is nothing he can do to remove the third Hokage's seal. He at least finds a positive in Sasuke's progress, though regrets that Orochimaru has had to go through so much for Sasuke, since he could not defeat Itachi. Meanwhile, Koharu Utatan and Homura Mitokado approach Jiraiya and tell him that, after Tsunagakura found the fourth Kazakuge's body, they surrendered to Konoha, their entire involvement in the Konoha crush having been Orochimaru's doing. With the village's situation and the third's death, they ask Jiraiya to become the next Hokage. He declines, offering to find Tsunade for the position instead, but requests that Naruto be allowed to come with him. Meanwhile, Kakashi tails two suspicious individuals. Because he has business with Sasuke, he has Kurenai and Asuma follow the two. Asuma and Kurenai confront the two cloaked individuals. Discovered, the two reveal themselves as Itachi Uchiha and Kisame Hoshigaki. Recognizing how dangerous they are, Asuma and Kurenai prepare for battle. Asuma blocks Kisame's sword attack with his knuckle blades, while Kurenai prepares to use a genjutsu on Itachi and Kisame. Kisame manages to overpower Asuma and his sword slices his shoulder. Kurenai's genjutsu takes effect, but Itachi easily reverses it onto Kurenai. Itachi then takes the initiative of attacking her while she's in the genjutsu, but she breaks it just in time to evade his lethal attack. Meanwhile, Asuma is able to avoid Kisame's sword swings, and then delivers a cut to Kisame's face with his chakra-enhanced knuckle blade. As the battle begins to get more intense, Kakashi arrives to aid Kurenai and Asuma, apologizing for intervening in their battle, but that he felt a bit uneasy about who they may be up against. Kakashi expresses surprise over the identities of the two men he had been following as Kisame, more particularly, Itachi. When Kisame tries to take him on, Itachi tells him to stand down, citing that they are too equal in strength, and that a fight would only become an inconvenience. As he would not have these same problems, he attacks Kakashi. Seeing Itachi's Mangekyou Sharingan, Kakashi instructs Asuma and Kurenai to shut their eyes since they are no match for him. Itachi uses Tsukiyomi on Kakashi, who just barely endures the attack because of his Sharingan, struggling to remain standing. Kakashi asks why they have come to Konoha. Itachi replies that they are after the fourth Hokage's legacy. Knowing that Itachi and Kisame are after Naruto, Kakashi recalled about an earlier conversation he had with Jiraiya. Jiraiya informed Kakashi that he would thereafter be looking after Naruto, fearing that an organization called Akatsuki might someday come after him because of the nine-tailed demon fox sealed within him. Knowing Itachi is part of Akatsuki, Kakashi asks if this is correct. Angry that Kakashi knows about their organization, Itachi instructs Kisame to capture Kakashi. As Kisame moves to attack, Guy appears and repels him. Seeing that things are becoming too difficult, Itachi leaves with Kisame. Meanwhile, Jiraiya tries to convince Naruto to help him look for Tsunade. Naruto has no interest until hearing that he can learn a technique stronger than Sasuke's Chidori, at which point he eagerly accompanies Jiraiya out of Konoha. Naruto asks why Jiraiya was so determined to teach him a new technique, and theorizes that it's because he has some special ability. Jiraiya replies that it's because Naruto reminds him of the fourth Hokage. Meanwhile, Sasuke continues to train, trying to become as strong as Naruto was during his fight with Gaara, for whenever he meets his brother, Itachi. When he visits Kakashi later and finds Kakashi unconscious, he learns that he was defeated by Itachi, who has returned to Konoha to capture Naruto. Sasuke goes looking for him, and picks up on his trail, hoping to find him before Itachi does. Jiraiya and Naruto check into a motel a few miles from Konoha. When they catch a woman's attention, Jiraiya sends Naruto to their room so that he can try his luck. When someone knocks at their door a short while later, Naruto assumes Jiraiya has already been turned down and opens it. He instead finds Itachi. Not knowing who they are, Naruto is surprised to see Itachi's Sharingan. He is even more surprised when they reference the nine-tailed demon fox sealed within him. As Sasuke searches for Naruto, he thinks back to his childhood. Itachi seemed like an ordinary older brother, who was simply distant with Sasuke. However, when Sasuke returned home one night, to the Uchiha clan's living area, he found his entire family murdered by Itachi. As Itachi and Kisame try to convince Naruto to leave his room, Sasuke arrives and vows to kill Itachi. Both Naruto and Kisame are surprised to learn that Itachi and Sasuke are brothers. Years ago, after Itachi killed their family, Itachi told Sasuke that he had done so in order to test his abilities. Frightened that this could be his motivation, Sasuke tried to escape, only for Itachi to assure him he was too weak to kill. He instead encouraged Sasuke to grow strong enough to kill him and avenge their family. Intending to finally do so, Sasuke attacks Itachi with Chidori, but Itachi easily deflects it. Naruto begins gathering chakra so that he can help Sasuke when it is absorbed by Kisame. As Kisame moves to incapacitate him, Jiraiya appears and stops the attack. Jiraiya tries to make a grand entrance, but Naruto quickly reminds him that he was gone because he was hitting on a woman. Since the woman was under the influence of a genjutsu, Jiraiya knows that Itachi and Kisame were trying to separate him from Naruto, thereby confirming that Akatsuki really is after the 9 tails. Hearing Jiraiya's words, Itachi realizes that Jiraiya was the one who informed Kakashi about Akatsuki. Jiraiya prepares to fight them, but Sasuke instructs him to leave them to him, uninterested in their squabble. Itachi tortures Sasuke. Naruto tries to help him and Kisame pursues Naruto, prompting Jiraiya to coat the area in a toad's stomach. Itachi tells Sasuke that he is still too weak. Jiraiya tries to capture him and Kisame, but they flee, managing to escape from his summoning toad mouth bind with Amaterasu. Jiraiya takes a sample of the flames for future study, and Naruto checks on Sasuke. While they are preoccupied, Guy appears and attacks Jiraiya, having thought he was Itachi or Kisame. Naruto expresses an interest in going after the Akatsuki members, but Jiraiya tells him he would stand no chance against them. Because of the conditions Sasuke and Kakashi have been left in after their encounters with Itachi, as well as Lee's predicament, Guy regrets that Tsunade is no longer in Konoha. Jiraiya tells him that they are in the middle of searching for Tsunade, the world's greatest medic. Guy pleads with Jiraiya and Naruto to make sure they bring Tsunade back to Konoha. When Naruto promises to do so, Guy, impressed by his dedication, gives him a jumpsuit before heading home with Sasuke. As they begin their search, Naruto asks why Akatsuki is so interested in him. Jiraiya tells him that they are after the 9 tails for some unknown reason, and that in the future, they are unlikely to give up so easily. Naruto concludes that he will need to get stronger, which he won't be able to do until they find Tsunade. Jiraiya explains that it will not be that easy, since Tsunade periodically changes her appearance. Even if it will take a while, Naruto doesn't need to worry about missing out on his training, since Jiraiya will be teaching him a new technique. Eager to begin, Naruto puts on his new jumpsuit. Naruto and Jiraiya stopped at a fair to gather information on Tsunade. When Naruto said that he wanted to enjoy the fair, Jiraiya took most of his money so that he, a ninja, will not overindulge himself. After spending what little money he was allowed and buying Jiraiya some food as thanks, Naruto found that Jiraiya had not taken his own advice. Not only had he surrounded himself with women and alcohol, but he had spent Naruto's money in order to do so. As Naruto yelled at him, he earned the anger of Gentetsu. Jiraiya dealt with Gentetsu, at the same time demonstrating the Rasengan. To start Naruto on his way of learning the Rasengan, Jiraiya instructed him to pop a water balloon by spinning his chakra. A few days after beginning his Rasengan training, Naruto reflects on his lack of progress in popping the water balloon. Jiraiya reluctantly gave him some tips on how to spin his chakra, after which Naruto proclaimed that he would finish this first step and master the Rasengan in 3 days. Jiraiya informed him that the 4th Hokage, the Rasengan's creator, created the Rasengan after 3 years' hard work. While thinking, Naruto sees a cat playing with the water balloon. When the cat pops the balloon after batting it around, Naruto gets an idea and finally manages to break the balloon himself. By spinning chakra with both of his hands and forcing the energy into the water balloon from opposing directions, Naruto is able to pop it. Though unorthodox, Jiraiya is impressed and tells him about the second step to learning the Rasengan. The second step is very similar to the first. Naruto must pop a rubber ball. Since the ball is much sturdier than the balloon, he will need to improve the Rasengan's strength. Naruto once again struggles with the step, as he cannot burst the ball, only managing to create a hole in it. Content with this development, Jiraiya draws a mark on the palm of his hand to help. The mark on Naruto's hand is meant to give him a focal point for his chakra output, concentrating the Rasengan's strength on one specific point, rather than dissipating it over a larger area. This does little to help him. Meanwhile, Orochimaru is in agony from the seal placed on him by the 3rd Hokage. With Kabuto unable to do anything for him, they decide to go looking for Tsunade. Kabuto tells him that she is in Tanzaku quarters, which Jiraiya also finds out in the course of his own investigation. In Tanzaku, Tsunade, a gambler with terrible luck, hits a winning streak, which causes her great concern. Worried, Tsunade tries to leave Tanzaku quarters, but Shizuna convinces her to visit some tourist attractions first. Meanwhile, the mark on his palm is still not helping Naruto to concentrate his chakra. He remembers back to his days in the academy when Iruka had him concentrate on his studies by placing a leaf on his forehead. Deciding to make use of a lesson he dismissed at the time, Naruto modifies the mark into the appearance of a leaf, finally helping him concentrate enough chakra into his Rasengan to burst the rubber ball, completing the second step. As Tsunade and Shizune elsewhere look at Tanzaku Castle, the castle collapses and Orochimaru emerges from the rubble. For the final step of his Rasengan training, Naruto must again use a balloon. This time, however, he is not to pop it. He is instead containing the power of his spinning chakra within a spherical shape. The balloon is merely a guide to achieve this goal. Although this is much more difficult than the first two steps, Naruto and Jiraiya must keep moving if they are to find Tsunade. In Tanzaku quarters, Orochimaru confronts Tsunade. Seeing the condition Orochimaru is in, she immediately refuses to heal him. She does ask how his arms were so badly damaged, to which he responds it was carelessness when killing the third Hokage. When this upsets Tsunade, the third having been her teacher, Orochimaru points out that she should be used to losing loved ones. Angered by Orochimaru's words, Shizune attacks him. Kabuto blocks her attack. Tsunade tells her to calm down and then proceeds to decimate the wall behind her, a warning for Orochimaru not to mock her again. She tells them to leave, but Orochimaru offers to revive her two loved ones if she will heal his arms. Finally interested, Tsunade asks what he would do if regained use of his arms. He responds that he would destroy Konoha. Jiraiya and Naruto, near Tanzaku Castle. Along the way they learn that the castle was destroyed by a giant snake. Suspecting Orochimaru, they race to the scene. Tsunade considers Orochimaru's offer to revive her loved ones in exchange for healing his arms. Despite knowing it would mean Konoha's destruction, Shizune tries to convince Tsunade to kill Orochimaru, since Dan and Nawaki would not place their lives over the village. But Orochimaru takes advantage of Tsunade's fear of blood to immobilize her. Deciding to give her a chance to think, Orochimaru leaves and tells her he will be back in a week to see what her answer is. Jiraiya and Naruto arrive after everyone has left, but happen to run across Tsunade and Shizune while later getting dinner. Jiraiya bluntly asks her to become the next Hokage, confirming the third Hokage's death for Tsunade. Tsunade refuses to become Hokage. Naruto does not care about her answer, and suggests dragging her back to Konoha so that she can heal Kakashi and Sasuke. Tsunade observes to Jiraiya that Naruto is more obnoxious than the fourth Hokage, his previous disciple. Tsunade goes on to say that the fourth needlessly gave his life for the village, with the third Hokage having now done the same, just as the first Hokage and second Hokage did. Tsunade concludes that being Hokage is a joke. Naruto lashes out at her for insulting the previous Hokage. Tsunade agrees to fight him, and although he is outclassed, he continues trying to attack her. She asks why he cares, to which he responds being Hokage is his dream. Reminded of Dan and Nawaki, Tsunade is distracted, giving Naruto a chance to attack with his incomplete Rasengan. Recognizing the Rasengan, Tsunade creates a fissure in the ground. Naruto falls in, and the Rasengan is forced into the ground. Seeing that it is incomplete, Tsunade reprimands Jiraiya for teaching him such a technique, as it just gives Naruto unwarranted hope. Determined to prove her wrong, Naruto vows to master the Rasengan in 3 days. Tsunade offers the deadline of a week instead. If he can stay true to his word, he can have her priceless necklace. If he fails, she gets his wallet. Naruto accepts and runs off to start training. Tsunade and Jiraiya get drinks, during which Jiraiya reveals he is aware of some deal she has made with Orochimaru. If she decides to help him, Jiraiya states he will not hesitate to kill her. He then observes that Naruto is very much like her brother Nawaki, which Shizune elsewhere decides to tell Naruto about. To defend Tsunade's harsh words, Shizune tells Naruto about why she is now so pessimistic and why her necklace is so important. When Tsunade was younger, she gave the necklace to her younger brother, Nawaki, in the hopes it would help him achieve his dream of becoming Hokage. He died the next day, a casualty of the Second Shinobi World War, returning the necklace to her. After that she began advocating adding medical nin to squads, to prevent more deaths like her brothers. This gained Dan's attention, who, also wanting to be Hokage, wished to save as many lives as possible. Tsunade gave him her necklace when they began dating to help him in his goal. He too died during the war, and in her failed attempts to save him she developed a fear of blood. The necklace came to be regarded as cursed, and Tsunade lost faith in dreams and the Hokage. Deciding to prove her wrong, Naruto resumes his Rasengan training so that he can win the necklace from Tsunade. Tsunade thinks about Orochimaru's offer to revive Dan and Nawaki, and in turn her time with them when they were alive. All the while, she observes Naruto's progress with the Rasengan. Naruto is still unable to contain the Rasengan's strength into a sphere shape. After a week, he appears to have lost his bet with Tsunade, not having mastered the Rasengan. Jiraiya and Tsunade have drinks together the night before the deadline, during which Tsunade slips something into his drink. Tsunade checks on an unconscious Naruto. Because of his week of intense training, she concludes he will sleep for several days. Knowing that he hadn't mastered the Rasengan, and believing it now impossible for him to do so before the challenge deadline, Tsunade begins to leave. Shizune tries to convince her not to help Orochimaru, and goes so far as to face off with Tsunade, but she is easily bested and knocked unconscious. As Orochimaru and Kabuto head towards the meeting place, Orochimaru remembers Shizune's earlier actions and sends Kabuto to eliminate her. The next morning Naruto wakes up Shizune, the nine tails within him, having healed his injuries faster than the two women expected. Shizune tries to pursue Tsunade, but is stopped by Jiraiya, who has been drugged by Tsunade, and is having difficulty moving. Noticing Kabuto, Jiraiya questions Shizune about Orochimaru's secret arrangement with Tsunade. At Tanzaku Castle, Tsunade offers to heal Orochimaru's arms if he will promise to leave Konoha alone. He agrees. Tsunade approaches Orochimaru and prepares to heal him. At the last moment, they are stopped by Kabuto. Having full confidence in Kabuto's loyalty, Orochimaru realizes that Tsunade was about to betray him. Kabuto explains that her jutsu was filled with killing intent, that he, a medical nin, could pick up on. Tsunade does not deny it, saying that she had longed to see Dan and Nawaki again. However, Naruto had caused her to remember how much they loved Konoha. Knowing that Orochimaru was lying when he said he would spare the village, she couldn't bring herself to bring back her loved ones, at the cost of destroying what they held precious. Intending to prevent Orochimaru from ever harming the village again, Tsunade attacks. Because Orochimaru is unable to fight in his current state, Kabuto battles Tsunade in his place. He informs Orochimaru that Jiraiya is nearby and likely en route, so they relocate. Jiraiya, Shizune, and Naruto just miss them, but pick up the trail. Unskilled with taijutsu, and otherwise outmatched, Kabuto tries to end the battle quickly. He damages Tsunade's chest to disable her while keeping her alive, but she shirks it off and attacks him. He recovers and attempts to take advantage of her fear of blood, but Jiraiya and the others appear between them. Wishing to finish the fight by herself, Tsunade charges past Jiraiya. Kabuto slits his own wrist to cover her in his blood, immobilizing her due to her fear of blood. Naruto is confused, having considered Kabuto a friend the last time they saw each other. Kabuto informs him that he is an Otogakure spy. He adds that he is disappointed with Naruto, as he makes unimpressive use of the nine tails, and doesn't even compare to Sasuke. Angry, Naruto attacks him, intending to take advantage of Kabuto's injured arm, but he is easily repelled. Kabuto then heals himself. They all split up. Shizune will fight Kabuto, while Jiraiya will fight Orochimaru, and Naruto will protect Tsunade, since Orochimaru and Kabuto are out of his league. Orochimaru, with Kabuto's help, summons two snakes and Jiraiya tries to summon a toad. Still under the effects of Tsunade's drug, he only manages to summon Gamakichi. With Jiraiya unable to fully control his chakra, Naruto tries to summon a toad larger than Gamakichi for him to use. He can only summon Gamatatsu, Gamakichi's younger brother, Orochimaru, and Kabuto, each riding a snake, attack. Jiraiya is able to trap Orochimaru's in a swamp, but Kabuto's manages to catch Naruto in its mouth. As Naruto struggles to escape, Kabuto fights Shizune and quickly subdues her. He then turns his attention to the still paralyzed Tsunade. Jiraiya and Orochimaru exchange blows, but being unable to do much to each other, discuss their respective interests. Orochimaru says that nobody can compare to Sasuke, an Uchiha, but Jiraiya says that natural skills do not compare to someone with Naruto's determination. At that moment, Naruto blocks Kabuto's attack. Naruto tries to hit Kabuto with his incomplete Rasengan. Because Naruto needs a linear, lunging motion to use it, Kabuto easily avoids it and injures his leg. He tells Naruto that his hopes of winning and his dreams for the future are impossible, which Tsunade realizes sounds just like what she said to Naruto a week earlier. Because he does not care about predictions or leg injuries, Naruto stands up and reminds Tsunade of their bet. If he can master the Rasengan in a week, he gets the first Hokage's necklace. He creates a shadow clone, which Kabuto attacks. Naruto catches Kabuto and holds his hand to stop him from escaping. The shadow clone assists him with the Rasengan's formation, ensuring that the swirling chakra is contained in a sphere, and then Naruto strikes Kabuto with it. Kabuto is flung back by the perfected Rasengan. Kabuto is able to stand up after the attack while Naruto collapses, Kabuto having damaged his heart at the last second. Though initially confident his medical expertise has saved him from the worst of the damage, Kabuto finds that his injuries are too great and collapses. Tsunade rushes to Naruto's side and tries to heal him, vowing to not let him die in his pursuit of the title of Hokage like Dan and Nawaki did. Kabuto insists he is doomed, but Naruto, healed, grasps the first Hokage's necklace he has now won before losing consciousness. Putting faith in another's dreams once more, Tsunade puts the necklace around him. Orochimaru, seeing Naruto's success against Kabuto as a potential concern for the future, tries to kill him, but Tsunade blocks the attack with her own body. Having inflicted a fatal injury upon Tsunade, Orochimaru asks why she would give her life to protect Naruto. Tsunade, shaking at the sight of her own blood, responds that it was to protect Konoha, as Naruto will someday be its Hokage. Orochimaru scoffs at the title, saying that Hokage is for fools who want to die. Reminded of what she said to Naruto a week earlier, Tsunade tells him that she will now be one of those fools, accepting the position of 5th Hokage for herself. Orochimaru delivers a finishing blow, and then tries to do the same to Naruto, but Tsunade again blocks the attack. She overcomes her fear of blood and counterattacks, throwing him back and healing her injuries with Creation Rebirth. With the battle escalating, the Sannin each perform their largest summon. Orochimaru summons Manda, Tsunade summons Katsuyu, and Jiraiya summons Gamabunta. Gamakichi and Gamatatsu say hello to their father. Tsunade has Katsuyu take Naruto to Shizune. Manda threatens Orochimaru. Declaring this to be the last meeting of the Sannin, Jiraiya and Tsunade attack Orochimaru. Despite their efforts, Manda's speed allows Orochimaru to avoid their attacks. As Manda is about to bite Gamabunta, Tsunade appears and uses Gamabunta's giant sword to seal his mouth closed and pin him to the ground. Orochimaru wraps his tongue around her neck in an effort to strangle her, but Tsunade grabs the tongue to bring Orochimaru to her, punching him in the face. Orochimaru falls to the ground. Manda, humiliated, promises to kill Orochimaru the next time they meet before disappearing. Orochimaru regroups with Kabuto and tells Tsunade that even if she won't heal his arms, he has one other way of regaining the ability to perform techniques. Tsunade and Jiraiya see that his face has been torn away, revealing someone else underneath. He and Kabuto flee. Jiraiya is too injured to follow, and Tsunade, having expended all of her chakra, loses her youthful appearance. They take Naruto back to Tanzaku quarters to rest. When he wakes up, he tells Tsunade that she will be a terrible Hokage. Tsunade challenges him to a fight, and Naruto is once again outclassed. Rather than defeat him, Tsunade kisses him on the forehead. They head back to Konoha. Tsunade is confident Naruto will someday be a wonderful Hokage. Tsunade returns to Konoha as the new Hokage. The villagers are eager to have her begin her official duties, but Naruto insists that she help Sasuke and Kakashi first. They run into Shikamaru along the way, who, given his history with women, is unhappy that the Hokage is a woman too. He later reluctantly has lunch with Team 10 to celebrate his appointment as a Chunin, the only advance in rank from the Chunin exams. Neji elsewhere tries to locate birds with his Byakugan, but can only see 7 of 8. Tsunade heals Kakashi and Sasuke. Sakura is particularly happy with Sasuke's recovery, having stayed by his bedside since his encounter with Itachi. Guy pleads for Tsunade to look at Lee too. Tsunade examines the damage to Lee's back and finds there are bone fragments lodged in his spine. Although she, and only she, could try removing them, Lee will die if she fails. Since her odds of success are only 50%, she advises he give up his dreams of being a ninja. To Guy's disappointment, Lee accepts his prognosis and leaves. While Team 10 is having lunch, Chuji insists that he get to have the last morsel of food, claiming it is the best. Asuma points out that he should train more and become a Chunin like Shikamaru, upsetting him. Sasuke, still recovering from his encounter with Itachi, thinks about how useless he was and how much Naruto has surpassed him. Orochimaru elsewhere sends his Sound 4 to Konoha. Naruto thinks about his lunch with Iruka. Iruka is happy with Naruto's development, but informs him that he will now need to start doing actual work. After the failed Konoha crush, the village is operating with a diminished manpower, and ninja are being sent on more difficult missions and more often. Naruto is eager to start doing his part. After Team 10 has lunch, Ino tells Shikamaru that Chuji should go on a diet. Shikamaru defends him. Chuji tells Shikamaru that now that he is a Chunin, his superiority to Sasuke and Neji is only more apparent. Shikamaru is unconcerned since he only wants to be himself, which he tells Shuji to strive for too. Naruto visits Sasuke in the hospital, because so many others have shown a special interest in Naruto. Sasuke demands that they fight each other. Naruto accepts. Over Sakura's objections, Naruto and Sasuke head to the hospital roof to fight. Regarding the battle casually, Naruto asks Sasuke to put on his Konoha forehead protector. Sasuke refuses, since that would mean that they are equals, upsetting Naruto for not acknowledging himself as Konoha ninja. Naruto surrounds Sasuke with shadow clones, which Sasuke destroys with his fire release. Great fireball technique. As the smoke clears, Sasuke sees that one clone has survived and is helping Naruto form the Rasengan. He uses his own Chidori, and they charge at each other. Sakura screams for them to stop. Sakura puts herself between Naruto and Sasuke to get them to stop, but they are not able to. Kakashi catches them and sends them into 2 opposing water towers. He points out that they went overboard for a casual fight, and Kakashi lectures Sasuke for using the Chidori against a friend. Sasuke is unconcerned, instead happy to see that his Chidori did more damage to the water tower than Naruto's Rasengan. On closer examination, however, he finds that the Rasengan did more damage. He jealously leaves. Kakashi also lectures Jiraiya for teaching Naruto the Rasengan, saying he is too young to handle it, and Jiraiya shoots back that Kakashi shouldn't have taught the Chidori to someone hellbent on vengeance. Kakashi continues saying he should know better since Sasuke and Naruto are like Orochimaru and Jiraiya once were. Naruto longs to be acknowledged by Sasuke as an equal, and Sasuke is feeling inferior to Naruto's growth. Kakashi assures Sakura that he will speak with Sasuke. Elsewhere, the Sound 4 observes Sasuke. Kakashi ties Sasuke to a tree so that he can speak to him without running off. Kakashi advises Sasuke against his pursuit for revenge against Itachi. Sasuke retorts that Kakashi doesn't know what he's been through and offers to kill everyone Kakashi loves. Kakashi points out that everyone he loves is already dead. However, both he and Sasuke have found friends in Team 7, and they would do well to value what they still have more than what have lost. Kakashi leaves him to consider it, and he struggles to forget about Itachi. Before he can reach a conclusion, he is attacked by the Sound 4. He quickly repels them and challenges them to try again. The Sound 4 attacks Sasuke again, this time having more success. Sasuke still retains the advantage. Meanwhile, Sakura thinks about Sasuke and wonders if it was a good idea to tell Naruto about the cursed seal. The scare received from Orochimaru, which he had previously instructed her not to. Naruto assured her that Sasuke would never give in to Orochimaru's temptations, putting a smile on her face. Sasuke, however, has been defeated by the Sound Four. They tell him he will never be able to defeat them if he remains in Konoha, as only Orochimaru can give one true power. The Sound Four remark that Orochimaru is wasting his time with Sasuke. Sasuke activates his cursed seal in an effort to prove them wrong, but they are unimpressed since they have greater control over their own cursed seals. They remind him of his desire to kill Itachi and promise that Orochimaru could give him the strength he needs, improving his cursed seal being only one of many possibilities. They leave Sasuke to pick between Orochimaru and Konoha, and Sasuke reaches a decision. Elsewhere, Lee reflects on his dreams of becoming a splendid ninja that excels in taijutsu. As he remembers the confidence Guy has always had in him, Guy comes to see him. Lee is indebted to Guy for giving him hopes of achieving his dreams of becoming a ninja and guidance in fulfilling those dreams. However, Guy's advice of hard work will do him no good with the operation that will restore him to fighting capability, as his survival is a matter of luck rather than skill or persistence. Because his death would leave him unable to be a ninja in any capacity, he is torn over what to do. Guy tells him to go through with the operation, since Lee would only be even sadder if he gave up on his dream. If he at least tries to resume his life as a ninja, that will make all the difference, and he will definitely survive. Lee is still reluctant, so Guy tells him that if Lee died in pursuit of his dreams, Guy would die too for being unable to fulfill his own dreams of helping Lee achieve his dreams. Lee decides to go through with the operation. After gathering his things, Sasuke heads for Konoha's exit. He finds Sasuke waiting for him there. He tells her to go home. She does not, instead asking why. After all they've been through together, he always ignores her. Sasuke responds that she can't understand him, but Sasuke insists that, because she loves him, she's willing to try. She offers to help him take revenge and to accompany him in leaving Konoha, anything so long as she can be with him. He leaves, so she threatens to scream. He knocks her out after thanking her. The Sound Four greets Sasuke outside the village to accompany him to Orochimaru. While running errands for Tsunade, Izumo and Kotetsu find Sakura unconscious. They wake her up, and she tells them about Sasuke's defection. They immediately inform Tsunade. Surprised that Orochimaru is making his move so soon, Tsunade has Shikamaru brought before her and tells him what has happened. Because the village is understaffed after Orochimaru's Konoha crush, Shikamaru and a genin team of his choosing are all that can be spared to retrieve Sasuke. Tsunade recommends Naruto, and Shikamaru insists on bringing Shaji. Naruto suggests that Shino would be preferable to Shaji, but Kiba informs them that Shino is away on a mission. He, however, volunteers. Lee overhears them and recommends Neji. Lee himself awaiting his surgery. Before the Sasuke recovery team departs, Shikamaru asserts his leadership and establishes a basic approach to how the mission will be carried out. Despite the frantic nature of the mission, the team and Rock Lee can find no faults with his plan. Sakura stops them before they leave and pleads with Naruto to bring Sasuke home, believing that he is now the only person capable of getting through to him. Admitting that he knows of Sakura's feelings, Naruto half-heartedly vows to do so, encouraging the team and causing Sakura to acknowledge all of his selfless actions. Elsewhere, the Sound Four inform Sasuke of a task given to them by Orochimaru, bluntly telling him that he needs to die once. The Sound Four offer to advance Sasuke's cursed seal to its second level. Because they are forcing the process, Sasuke must be put into a death-like state for an extended period of time. They explain the state as suspended animations, after which Sasuke agrees and, after dying, is sealed into a coffin. Meanwhile, Tsunade gives Lee a final chance to back out of the operation. Seeing how determined he is to resume his life as a ninja and fulfill his dreams, she immediately gets to work. As the Sound Four carry Sasuke's coffin to Orochimaru, they are found by Konoha ninja returning from a mission. Knowing they will need help, the Sound Four activate their cursed seals. After activating level 1 of their cursed seals, the Sound Four attack Rado Namiyashi and Genma Shiranui. When they do not return their teammates, Awashi Tatami and Shizune go looking for them and find them near death. The Sasuke recovery team, detecting the battle while pursuing Sasuke, realizes that Sasuke has escorts. They near the Sound 4's location and find traps in the area. Knowing they are probably resting after their battle, the retrieval team prepares to ambush them. Having been forced to deactivate level 2 of their cursed seals during the earlier fight with the Konoha ninja, the Sound 4 rest. The Sasuke recovery team, observing them, determines that Sasuke is likely in the coffin the Sound 4 have with them. They approach, but are quickly attacked. Although the Sound 4 believe they have stopped an ambush, they discover that they have been captured by Shikamaru's shadow imitation technique. Sasuke is somehow able to free them, and Jirambo immediately traps them in a rock prison from which the retrieval team is unable to escape. The Sound 4 continue on while Jirambo stays behind, which Neji discovers to be because he is absorbing their chakra. As their chakra is slowly consumed by Jirambo, Shikamaru analyzes the damage that Kiba is doing to their rock prison in his attempts to break out. He offers to give up the others if Jirambo will let him go, but Jirambo refuses. Most of the Sasuke recovery team concludes he is a traitor, but Chuji, trusting Shikamaru, recognizes that he has a plan. Shikamaru informs them that, although their prison repairs itself, the process is slowed at the point furthest from Jirambo. With the help of Neji, they are able to pinpoint the slowest repairing point. Ashamed for doubting him, the team focuses their attacks on that area and are able to escape. Jirambo is impressed that the Sasuke recovery team was able to escape, but, having consumed most of their chakra, is confident he can defeat them. Shikamaru suggests splitting the team up, the others going ahead while he catches Jirambo with his shadow, and Naruto fights him. Jirambo ridicules the plan, and Shikamaru's jutsu, expressing his sympathies that the team has a leader as useless as Shikamaru. Shiji demands that he, and only he, be allowed to fight Jirambo, while the others follow the rest of the Sound 4. He gives them military rations pills to restore their chakra, which Shikamaru, confident in Shiji, accepts. They leave, and Jirambo tries to go after them, but Shiji takes the first of his 3 colored pills, the green spinach pill, Horenmaru, Horengan, to stop Jirambo. After taking the first of the 3 colored pills, Chuji is able to match Jirambo in physical strength. They exchange blows, but Chuji quickly begins to feel the strain of taking the pill. As they leave the area, the Sasuke recovery team wonders if Chuji can defeat Jirambo, but Shikamaru informs them that one-on-one battles are perhaps the best they can hope for, and that Chuji, who considers himself as the weakest of the team, is doing his part now. Shikamaru adds that he is wrong to think so, as Chuji is actually the strongest. Jirambo activates the first stage of his cursed seal to overpower Chuji, and observes that he has been abandoned by the rest of his team. Determined to prove Jirambo wrong, and to avoid disappointing Shikamaru, Chuji takes the second pill, the yellow curry pill, Kaleamaya, Karagan, to increase his size to gigantic proportions. Jirambo activates level 2 of his cursed seal to repel Shoji. Shoji cannot move after taking 2 of his 3 colored pills, and thus cannot stop Jirambo from eating the last of his potato chips. Jirambo assures him that he shouldn't feel bad since Shoji is fat and will soon be joined by Shikamaru, his worthless team leader, in death. Shoji thinks back to his childhood and how all of the kids his age looked down on him for his weight. Only Shikamaru stuck up for him, and in fact, didn't care, knowing Shoji had more important qualities. They have been best friends ever since. Although using the last pill will surely cause his death, Shoji does not hesitate to take the red chili pill, Tongarashi, Mara Tongarashigen. Easily restraining Jirambo, he informs him that he's 100 times as powerful as he was before. Shoji tells him that he could ignore being called fat or having food taken from him. What he cannot forgive is Shikamaru being insulted. He punches Jirambo, decimating the area. Jirambo dies and Shoji starts walking in the direction that the rest of the Sasuke recovery team went in. Seeing that they have marked their path for him, he collapses, glad to know he has friends that believe in him. Meanwhile, the rest of the team notices that the Sound 4 has not set traps for them, meaning they expected Jirambo to win. Taking advantage of this, Shikamaru transforms into Jirambo and joins up with the 3 other Otogakure ninja. However, because he doesn't reprimand Tayuya for her insults like Jirambo would, his identity is exposed and most of the team is caught in Kidomaru's webbing. Neji takes advantage of this preoccupation and attacks him from behind. Kidomaru avoids Neji's attack and catches him in a cocoon of webbing. With the Sasuke recovery team unable to move, Kidomaru decides to enjoy himself before regrouping with the Sound 4. Naruto and his shadow clones are caught in his web, so Kidomaru plays target practice to figure out which is the real one. They all turn out to be shadow clones, and Naruto attacks Kidomaru from behind. It ceases to work, and Naruto is about to be captured, but Neji appears and releases him. Able to break Kidomaru's chakra-infused webbing with his abilities, Neji concludes that he is the only one who can fight him. Because they need to catch Sasuke at any cost, Neji volunteers to fight Kidomaru by himself. The remaining members of the Sasuke recovery team resume their pursuit of the Sound 4. Kidomaru attempts to stop them, but Neji neutralizes his webbing. Concluding that Neji is the strongest member of the team, Kidomaru tries various attacks to figure out Neji's strengths and weaknesses. Believing Neji can only break his webs by touching them with his hands, Kidomaru binds his arms. Since this is not true, Neji takes advantage of Kidomaru's lowered guard to attack with 8 trigrams 64 palms. Neji successfully strikes Kidomaru with his 8 trigrams 64 palms. Kidomaru covers himself with a special golden version of his webbing at the last second, allowing him to avoid damage and prevent Neji from sealing his tenketsu. Knowing he cannot win a close combat fight, Kidomaru starts attacking from afar. Neji is able to block his attacks with 8 trigrams palms, revolving heaven. Surprised by the defense and Neji's ability to react to attacks from behind, Kidomaru tries to find a weakness in his abilities. After activating his cursed seal, he douses Neji in webbing. Kidomaru's webbing sticks Neji to the ground, leaving him unable to perform the 8 trigrams palms revolving heaven. Neji opts to block the incoming attacks by hand, but is unable to block all of them. Kidomaru realizes that this means Neji's Byakugan has a blind spot, so he concentrates his efforts on pinpointing it. After determining that Neji cannot see things beyond 50 meters and cannot see anything directed at a particular point behind his neck, Kidomaru believes he has won the game. He activates level 2 of his cursed seal and creates a bow and arrow to put an end to his worthy opponent. Kidomaru fires an arrow at Neji's blind spot. Neji, having suspected his blind spot had been discovered, is able to dodge enough to keep the attack from killing him. Kidomaru realizes that Neji must have surrounded the area with chakra to compensate for his blind spot and pick up on anything that approaches from that direction. Disappointed that the strongest character of the Sasuke recovery team has been figured out so easily, Kidomaru modifies his arrow to make it faster and adds a string to guide it mid-flight. Once a fleeing, injured, exhausted Neji presents his blind spot, Kidomaru fires again and successfully hits him. Neji is badly wounded by Kidomaru's arrow. However, he continues fighting. He injects some of his chakra into the guiding string attached to the arrow, which travels back to and paralyzes Kidomaru. Kidomaru falls from the tree he was hiding in, assuming that this was Neji's dying effort. Following Naruto's example of not allowing seemingly insurmountable odds stop him from winning, Neji meets Kidomaru as he reaches the ground and delivers a killing blow. As Kidomaru's life fades, Neji explains that he allowed himself to be hit, knowing Kidomaru would attack from his blind spot and therefore making it easy to avoid a fatal wound. Kidomaru asks if it was worth it, which Neji affirms this victory and his helping the Sasuke recovery team has made his injuries and likely death worth it. With his dying breath, Kidomaru tells Neji that the Sasuke recovery team is wasting their time, as Sasuke is fully committed to joining Orochimaru. Neji is confident that Naruto can change Sasuke's mind, and passes out after entrusting Sasuke's retrieval to the rest of the team. The retrieval team near the remaining Sound 4, while the Sound 4 realizes their teammates are running late. Elsewhere, Orochimaru agonizes over the Sound 4's tardiness, desperate to take Sasuke's body to escape the third Hokage's seal. When he cannot wait any longer, he instructs Kabuto to prepare an alternative. Kabuto has several prisoners fight to the death with the promise that the victor will be released. As he watches the prisoners fight each other, Kabuto tells the dying Kimimaro about Sasuke, of comparable abilities to Kimimaro. Sasuke is to be Orochimaru's new host body, whereas Kimimaro is too sick to fill this role. Sasuke is now too late. Orochimaru approaches the victor, Genyumaru, who realizes what is about to happen to him. He asks that Orochimaru at least release his family, which Orochimaru agrees to before taking control of his body. Kimimaro, regretting that he could not help Orochimaru, leaves, deciding to be useful one last time by retrieving Sasuke. Elsewhere, the remaining members of the Sasuke recovery team catch up to Sasuke and Tayuya. The Ulto ninja spot them, and Sasuke goes in to attack. The Sasuke recovery team turns out to be nothing but Naruto's shadow clones. While Sasuke is preoccupied with the clones, the actual team members manage to take the coffin containing Sasuke away from Tayuya. Sasuke, enraged, pursues them and singles out Akamaru, who is covering their escape. Kiba saves him, but the three of them are flung off a cliff. Shikamaru instructs Naruto to take the coffin while he goes to help Kiba and Akamaru, but they are attacked by Kimimaro. Kimimaro takes the coffin containing Sasuke from Shikamaru and Naruto. While Tayuya is stunned to see him, the former dying leader of the Sound Four, Kimimaro tells her that he won't kill her if she deals with Shikamaru and Naruto. He leaves to take Sasuke to Orochimaru. Naruto and Shikamaru team up against Tayuya, but Naruto only pretends to engage her in battle, instead following Kimimaro and finding him in a field. Orochimaru elsewhere mourns having not been able to take Kimimaro as a host body, his Kekkei Genkai being most desirable. When questioned by Naruto, Kimimaro explains that Orochimaru wishes to take Sasuke's body for himself. Enraged at the prospect, Naruto taps into the Nine Tails chakra and surrounds Kimimaro with hundreds of shadow clones. Meanwhile, Tayuya asks Shikamaru about his practice of sacrificing one of his teammates to defeat one member of the Sound Four just to retrieve Sasuke. Shikamaru regrets that he had to, but explains that they all would have risked their lives for Sasuke, a friend, with or without his orders. As they prepare for battle, Tayuya summons her Doki. Elsewhere, Kiba and Akamaru believe they have an advantage of numbers over Sasuke. They find that Sasuke is not alone, his brother Yukon fighting alongside him. Naruto's shadow clones attack, but Kimimaro, preparing his Kekkei Genkai, is not concerned. Elsewhere, Sakon, with the help of his cursed seal, and Yukon overpower Kiba. Interested in ending the battle quickly, Yukon advances his cursed seal to its second level and forces Sakon to do the same. Akamaru knows they are outmatched, so he convinces Kiba to perform a joint combination. Taking on the form of a double-headed wolf, Kiba and Akamaru attack the joined brothers with their new technique. Meanwhile, Shikamaru struggles to avoid the Doki's attacks, but is able to notice that Tayuya controls them with her demonic flute. Sakon and Yukon are split apart because of Kiba and Akamaru's attack. They believe they have won, only to find that the brothers easily recover from the separation. They try to attack again, but are blocked. When Sakon and Yukon counterattack, Akamaru puts himself in danger to protect Kiba. While Akamaru manages to blind Sakon at the last minute, Yukon is able to join with Kiba's body. He tells Kiba that he will kill Kiba from the inside, destroying his cells and leaving unfazed once Kiba is dead. Needing to help Akamaru, Kiba stabs himself, taking advantage of the fact that Yukon, merged with him, will suffer the same injuries. Yukon is amazed that Kiba would stab himself just to kill him. As Kiba goes for a killing blow, Yukon exits his body to avoid further damage. Kiba takes this time to gather Akamaru and escape. Yukon, exhausted, rejoins with Sakon and demands that once Sakon has found Kiba and Akamaru, they kill them together. Meanwhile, Kimimaro is able to destroy wave after wave of Naruto's shadow clones. His dancing, acrobatic movements, and his ability to use his own bones as weapons being more than a match. Kimimaro continues to keep Naruto away from Sasuke's coffin, using his dances and bones to prevent any of Naruto's shadow clones from getting through. Elsewhere, an injured Kiba and an incapacitated Akamaru hide from Sakon. When he sees that he is leaving a blood trail, allowing Sakon to follow them, Kiba abandons his coat and flees downriver with Akamaru. Meanwhile, Shikamaru is given no opportunities to attack. Tayuya's control over her Doki, allowing her to cover all possibilities. Playing a new tune on her demonic flute, Tayuya has the Doki attack. The Doki produce spiritual effigies that can pursue Shikamaru beyond their physical range and through physical matter, all in accordance with the music played by Tayuya. Shikamaru falls back and formulates a plan. He starts focusing his attacks on Tayuya, the Doki's controller. Tayuya surrounds herself with the Doki to act as shields against the attacks and retaliate towards the attack's source. Shikamaru then reveals himself, so Tayuya groups the Doki together and has them attack. Having figured out what every finger arrangement on Tayuya's demonic flute causes the Doki to do, Shikamaru knows what to expect, allowing him to capture the Doki with his shadow. Having lost control of the Doki, Tayuya sends them away to keep Shikamaru from using them against her. She once again does as Shikamaru had planned. Not only has she got rid of the Doki, something he could not do, but in doing so she did not notice his shadow approaching her, allowing him to catch her. Tayuya activates level 2 of her cursed seal to escape his control and traps him in a genjutsu. Shikamaru unsuccessfully throws a kunai at her. Tayuya picks up the kunai and approaches him to kill him with it, only to be trapped by his shadow again. Having broken the genjutsu, it was revealed that Shikamaru threw the kunai to Tayuya to trick her into coming close enough that she couldn't overpower his shadow again. Shikamaru tries to strangle Tayuya with his shadow before she can escape. And despite the technique being in close proximity of its target where it worked best, Tayuya is able to use the power of her cursed seal to resist his attack. Meanwhile, Kimimaro continues to defeat Naruto's waves of shadow clones. Just when all of his shadow clones are destroyed, the seal keeping Sasuke within his coffin dissipates and he emerges. Naruto tries to convince him to come back, but he runs off. When Naruto starts to follow Sasuke, Kimimaro attacks but is blocked by Lee, who tells Naruto to go after Sasuke while he deals with Kimimaro. Lee reminds Naruto that he promised Sakura that he would bring Sasuke back to Konoha. Naruto leaves Kimimaro to Lee and follows Sasuke. Back in Konoha, Guy races to Tsunade as soon as he returns from his mission. She informs him that Lee's surgery was a complete success, and both are then informed that Lee has left the hospital. Tsunade notices that Lee has forgotten his medicine, accidentally taking her sake instead. Guy is horrified by the news. Lee and Kimimaro begin fighting, but Kimimaro has no difficulty predicting and blocking Lee's strikes. After Lee takes a short break to take his medicine, he becomes drunk and assumes a drunken fist stance. Kiba leaves the safety of the river to hide on land. Elsewhere, Lee, drunk, attacks Kimimaro. Kimimaro is no longer able to predict and block Lee's attacks, as Lee himself does not know what he is doing. After Lee manages to land several blows and dodges all of Kimimaro's, Kimimaro makes greater use of his Shikotsunyaku, sprouting bones from all over his body to damage Lee whenever he attacks. Kimimaro's manipulation of his skeletal structure allows him to block or neutralize all of Lee's attacks. This, combined with Lee's sobering up, again leaves him unable to damage Kimimaro. Lee persists despite his recent surgery, knowing he must buy time for Naruto. Elsewhere, Sakon searches for the hiding Kiba. Kiba believes he has escaped detection when Sakon begins to move away, only to be greeted by Yukon, who could approach unnoticed by wearing Kiba's coat, masking his scent with Kiba's own. Shikamaru, meanwhile, can no longer restrain Tayuya, and she moves to finish him off. Before either Kiba or Lee can be killed, one of the three Sand siblings appears and rescues each. The three Sand siblings inform the Sasuke recovery team that the fifth Hokage asked for their help, which, because of Naruto, they were inclined to provide. Gaara, seeing that Lee is still suffering from the injuries he inflicted, protects him from Kimimaro. Teyura retreats when Temari arrives. Shikamaru briefs her on Teyura's abilities and suggests retreating, but Temari is not interested. Sakon tries to merge with Kankuro in an effort to kill him and get at Kiba. Kankuro uses his puppets as shields, which, being unable to merge with, Sakon is easily defeated by. Yukon appears to protect Sakon, allowing his brother to recuperate within his body. Taking advantage of the fewer targets, Kankuro navigates them into his Kuroreri. Once they are trapped within it, Kankuro bombards it with knives, killing Sakon and Yukon. Elsewhere, Tayuya hides from Temari among the trees. She brings out a spare flute, but her sound-based genjutsu is unable to break through the gusts of wind generated by Temari's fan. Temari summons Kamatari, who levels the forest and crushes Tayuya under debris. Not wanting Gaara to fight by himself, Lee tries to help and attacks Kimimaro to try and provide an opening for him. Gaara restrains him and instructs him to not interfere, saying he doesn't need the help, especially from someone in Lee's condition. Kimimaro, seeing that Gaara does not rely on taijutsu like his two opponents, contemplates how to respond. He is quickly captured with Gaara's sand and crushed, but by activating the first stage of his cursed seal and strengthening his bones, he avoids death. Gaara tries once more, using even more sand to crush Kimimaro and the surrounding area, but Kimimaro again survives. With level 2 of his cursed seal active, Kimimaro is able to outrun Gaara's sand and break through some of his more basic defenses. He uses his spine to immobilize Gaara and creates a battering ram out of bone. Kimimaro claims it to be capable of breaking through any defense, so Gaara creates his strongest defense, a Shukaku replica. As the two test which is superior, Orochimaru and Kabuto discuss Kimimaro. The last member of the Kaguya clan, Kimimaro is a natural prodigy, with the clan's Shikatsu Myaku. Both repeat their regrets that Kimimaro's illness will soon cause his death, depriving Orochimaru of such a useful ability. Gaara's defense proves stronger than Kimimaro's attack. Defeated, Kimimaro finds solace in that, when he dies, he will continue to live on in Orochimaru's heart. Gaara tells him he has been brainwashed and buries him underground. Kimimaro attacks again as he sinks, sprouting a field of bones from the ground, but Gaara protects himself and Lee from damage. Kimimaro emerges from one of the bones, telling them he was not brainwashed and preparing another attack. He succumbs to his illness before he can follow through. Lee and Gaara discuss Kimimaro and how strong he was, which Gaara observes to have been because he fought for Orochimaru. Even if someone is evil, people who consider them precious will always fight for them. At the Valley of the End, Naruto finally tracks Sasuke down. Sasuke tries to ignore Naruto and continue on to Orochimaru. Remembering Sakura's earlier failure to persuade Sasuke, Naruto asks why he would turn away from everything and everyone in Konoha. Sasuke responds that he owes them nothing and has finished his business with the village. When Naruto attacks him in anger, Sasuke adds that he didn't become any stronger by staying in Konoha. Orochimaru can give him the power he desires. Naruto reminds him of Orochimaru's actions and his intent to take Sasuke's body. Sasuke does not care, so Naruto promises to bring Sasuke home by force if necessary. Sasuke remembers that he and Naruto were interrupted the last time they fought, intending to settle that contest. Sasuke attacks him. He is impressed by the power granted to him by his newly evolved cursed seal and concludes he has made the right choice by defecting to Orochimaru. Naruto counterattacks in an effort to bring Sasuke back to his senses. Sasuke claims to have always been quite aware of what he was doing. Even when he was wasting his time in Konoha, he is not driven by future possibilities. His actions determined by his past with Itachi. One day, when they were younger, Sasuke accompanied Itachi on one of his training sessions. Impressed by Itachi's skills, Sasuke asked Itachi to teach him something, but Itachi, as always, refused by poking him on the forehead and promising to help him later. As they returned home, Sasuke marveled at the Uchiha clan's accomplishments as explained to him by Itachi. When they encountered their father, Fugaku, he spoke to Itachi about an approaching mission. Itachi refused to take part, wishing to take part in Sasuke's academy orientation. Seeing that Itachi was determined, Fugaku volunteered to go in his place. Sasuke was pleased to have Fugaku accompany him on his first day at the academy. However, the weight of his father's, his instructors, and even his classmates' expectations for him to measure up to Itachi's achievements left him disheartened. Despite Sasuke's best efforts and initial praise from his father, the pressure intensified. Meanwhile, Itachi, burdened by the anticipated responsibilities as the future of the Uchiha clan, began showing signs of strain. At one point, he speculated that Sasuke harbored resentment towards him. Sasuke tried to convey that this wasn't the case, but Itachi insisted that, as an older brother, his role was to serve as an obstacle for Sasuke. Itachi was confronted by members of the Konoha military police force about his recent actions, having not lived up to the Uchiha clan's expectations since he joined the Anbu. They questioned him about the death of Shisui Uchiha, Itachi's close friend, who had been instructed to keep tabs on Itachi's movements. Although Shisui's death appeared to be a suicide, the police believed Itachi may have staged the scene. Itachi attacked them and easily overpowered them, expressing his distaste for the clan. Fugaku stepped in and demanded Itachi's apology, but Itachi persisted, saying he had lost faith in the clan's future. It was only after Sasuke's pleaded for him to stop that he apologized. Sasuke thought about that tension that had arisen between Itachi and Fugaku, wondering what could have ruined Itachi's standing amongst the Uchiha. However, from that point further, Fugaku became interested in Sasuke's development. After he taught Sasuke the fire release, great fireball technique, in less time than it had taken to teach Itachi, Fugaku said he was proud of Sasuke for the first time. He added that Sasuke should no longer try to follow in Itachi's footsteps. Sasuke nevertheless continued to idolize Itachi. Sasuke asked his mother about Fugaku, wondering what their father really thought of him and Itachi. She assured him that Fugaku only ever had words of praise for Sasuke, and that his interest in Itachi was only for the Uchiha clan's benefit. Soon afterwards, Sasuke returned home one night to find all the members of his clan dead, murdered by Itachi. Itachi used his Manchukuo Sharingan to torture Sasuke and destroy the facade of a loving older brother he had assumed for so long. Explaining to have killed the Uchiha to measure his abilities, Itachi added that Sasuke now represented his greatest challenge. If Sasuke were to grow up hating him and acquire the Manchukuo Sharingan, they would be a match. However, to gain it, Sasuke would need to kill his closest friend. Itachi confirmed that he had killed Shisui to acquire the Manchukuo Sharingan, the death of one's closest friend being needed to awaken it. He directed Sasuke to the Naka shrine and encouraged him to use the information stored there to become enough to gain power and kill him, avenging their clan. Sasuke passed out and woke up as the last Uchiha in Konoha, distraught over the loss of the family that had just started to accept him. Sasuke agreed to live the rest of his life hating Itachi. Sasuke, realizing that Naruto is his closest friend, decides to kill him to pave the way towards killing Itachi. Naruto tries to find the logic in killing one's closest friend. Sasuke attacks him, pointing out that nobody will interrupt their fight this time. Sasuke prepares his Chidori to kill Naruto. Naruto, intending to drag Sasuke back to Konoha, prepares his Rasengan. Their attacks collide with each other. Since their Chidori and Rasengan are somewhat of equal power, Sasuke and Naruto are flung apart. Sasuke is angry that Naruto could match him, while Naruto is disappointed to find that Sasuke really did intend to kill him. As he tries to come to terms with this, he is attacked by Sasuke, who wants to finish the battle quickly. Naruto dodges and reflects on the long rivalry he has had with Sasuke, as well as the fact that he was always secretly being jealous too. When Sasuke catches Naruto and prepares a finishing blow, Naruto, wondering if they were ever really friends, begins using the Nine-Tails chakra. Kakashi learns of Sasuke's defection and the Sasuke recovery team, an underqualified team of genin, being sent to bring him back. He races from Konoha and instructs his Ninken to find Naruto and Sasuke, hoping to reach them before they kill each other. Meanwhile, Sasuke has pierced through Naruto's shoulder with his Chidori. Having missed the heart, Sasuke begins to choke Naruto so that he can kill him and gain the Manchukuo Sharingan. The Nine-Tails chakra begins to leak out before he can do so, forcing Sasuke to release Naruto and healing Naruto's injury. Naruto threatens to break all of the bones in Sasuke's body in order to keep him safe from Orochimaru. Surprised by the Nine-Tails chakra, Sasuke asks Naruto what he is. Naruto responds that he is a friend. Naruto attacks, and Sasuke is unable to keep up with his speed. Naruto begins beating sense into him, causing Sasuke to yell that Naruto, never having had a family, can't understand what it's like to lose them. Naruto admits that this is true, but says he had come to think of Sasuke as a brother. Realizing that Naruto regards him with a familial bond, Sasuke's Sharingan fully develops. He puts on his Konoha forehead protector and promises to sever their bond so that Naruto will no longer pursue him. By putting on his Konoha forehead protector, Sasuke acknowledges Naruto as his equal, both being strong and both knowing what it is to be lonely. However, Sasuke claims that Naruto lacks the power to scratch the forehead protector, and that once he has killed Naruto, he will become even stronger. Naruto attacks and Sasuke, his Sharingan having matured, is able to predict his movements and dodge his strikes. He attacks Naruto's openings and repels him. Within Naruto's subconscious, the Nine Tails grants him more of its chakra, allowing Naruto to obtain the one-tailed form. Seeing his one-tailed form, Sasuke finally understands why others find Naruto so interesting. Naruto lunges at him, and although Sasuke's Sharingan is able to predict Naruto's movements, it cannot predict the chakra shroud's actions. Sasuke tries to attack from a distance, but the shroud not only protects Naruto, it also extends his physical range. Discovering that he is no match, Sasuke advances his cursed seal to its second level to prove his abilities are superior. Although Naruto's one-tailed form and Sasuke's level 2 cursed seal form make them equal matches, the two power sources have negative effects on their respective bodies. Deciding it is time to put an end to the fight and their history together, the two prepare their final attacks. Naruto forms a Rasengan, and Sasuke creates his Chidori. The two charge at each other and clash their techniques. Naruto's Nine Tails fueled Rasengan and Sasuke's cursed seal-powered Chidori creates a sphere of chakra around them. Within the sphere, Sasuke punches Naruto and Naruto scratches Sasuke's forehead protector, doing what Sasuke claimed he could not. They stand together as the sphere dissipates, and when it is gone, Sasuke stands over an unconscious Naruto. Sasuke's forehead protector falls off and, as he starts coughing up blood, he looks down at Naruto. It starts to rain and Kakashi finally arrives, though he finds Naruto alone and defeated. Kakashi regrets the way things have turned out, and gathers up Naruto. Because of the rain, he has lost Sasuke's trail, so he carries Naruto back to Konoha. Sasuke staggers towards Orochimaru, having decided not to kill Naruto, although that would have given him strength in the form of the Mangekyo Sharingan. Acquiring it would have been what Itachi wanted, which Sasuke is not willing to do. Kakashi marvels at the choice of location for Naruto and Sasuke's battle, the Valley of the End. Their battle being much like the one that formed the valley, Kakashi wonders if battles like this will continue forever. Meanwhile, an Akatsuki member emerges from the ground and comments on the battle. Naruto wakes up as Kakashi carries him back to Konoha, allowing him to hear about the fates of the rest of the Sasuke recovery team. Tsunade is hard at work trying to save Choji from the side effects of the three-colored pills. Kiba and Akamaru, though badly injured, are expected to make a complete recovery. A team of medical nin is hard at work trying to regenerate Neji's wounds. Shikamaru, having only suffered a dislocated finger, is hit hardest by what happened to his team. He considers giving up on being a ninja, since he wasn't able to protect his friends. His father Shikaku points out that even if he quits, his friends will continue to be put in dangerous situations, but when they are, Shikamaru will not be able to help them. Tsunade informs them that all the members of the team will be fine, and that Naruto has also been safely recovered. However, since Sasuke escaped, the mission was a failure. Elated that nobody died under his command, Shikamaru vows to not fail again. Shikamaru points out to Tsunade that a medical nin should have been assigned to the Sasuke recovery team. She agrees, but says that being a medical nin requires something special. Shikamaru goes to visit Naruto in the hospital and gets confirmation that Sasuke would not come back to Konoha. Sasuke overhears this but pretends not to, entering the room to see how Naruto is doing. Naruto apologizes for failing, but she avoids the subject. He persists, saying that he will one day fulfill his promise of bringing Sasuke home. Seeing how much Naruto has gone through, Sasuke leaves after telling him that he won't need to fulfill that promise by himself next time. Sasuke goes to see Tsunade and asks to learn how to become a medical nin. Seeing that Sasuke has that special something, the desire to avoid losing those one is close to, Tsunade accepts. Although Sakura has said she will help him find Sasuke, Naruto is unwilling to wait for her and wants to try again as soon as he is better. Jiraiya visits him and offers to train him since Akatsuki won't be coming after him for another 3 years. Naruto declines, saying he needs to take Sasuke back from Orochimaru. Jiraiya tells him that Orochimaru won't be able to take Sasuke's body for another 3 years. He also suggests giving up on Sasuke, having previous experience with his own futile attempts to persuade Orochimaru to change his ways. Only a fool, he claims, would pass up years of training to save someone who doesn't want saving. Naruto says he would rather be a fool. Happy with this answer, Jiraiya leaves, telling Naruto that they will leave for his training as soon as he gets out of the hospital. Sasuke arrives at Orochimaru's base and makes clear that his only interest is gaining power. Sakura progresses through her medical nin training rapidly. Kiba tells Shino about the mission he missed out on. Neji trains to overcome his Byakugan's blind spot with his uncle. Hinata arrives with some tea. Neji asks her whether she will see Naruto when he departs for his training. Kiba and Shino arrive, with Kiba saying how Hinata fainted when she saw Naruto all bandaged up, much to her embarrassment. Shoji takes advantage of his stomach's recovery with a feast, but expresses his desire to start training. Lee trains non-stop. Shikamaru says goodbye to the 3 Sand siblings as they leave Konoha. Naruto has a meal with Iruka before departing for his 3 years of training with Jiraiya. Hinata watches him go, vowing to become stronger too. Elsewhere, Akatsuki meets and resolves to accelerate their plans. The story progresses, but in the meantime here is an important story from years ago, when Kakashi was just promoted to become a Jonin. This story's significance will only be revealed later on. It is the time of the Third Shinobi World War. Obito Uchiha is running late, for which his teammate, a young Kakashi Hatake, reprimands him when he eventually arrives. Kakashi, having recently become a Jonin, is given gifts by his teammates. Rin Nohara gives him a personalized medical kit. Their master, the future 4th Hokage, gives him a special kunai. Obito has forgotten to get him anything. Kakashi is to be the team leader for their mission to destroy the Kanobi Bridge, which will give Konoha an advantage over Iwagakure in the war effort. As they travel through Kusagakure, they discover they are being watched by an enemy ninja. Kakashi decides to deal with the ninja with a new technique, the Chidori. His master tries to stop him from attacking, but Kakashi reminds him that he is the team leader for this mission. Kakashi charges at the enemy with his Chidori, defeating wave after wave of shadow clones. When Kakashi finally reaches the real opponent, the speed of his Chidori leaves him unable to dodge a counterattack. His master saves him and quickly kills the ninja. He advises that Kakashi not use the technique again until he can overcome its drawback, and they rest for the night so that Kakashi can recover. Despite his injury, Kakashi continues to pick on Obito, drawing attention to each of his infractions of the shinobi rules. Though their master does not entirely approve, he explains how Kakashi's father, Sakamo Hatake, was disgraced when he didn't follow the rules and encourages Obito to be more understanding. Minato Namikaze leaves his students Kakashi, Obito and Rin to destroy the Kanobi Bridge by themselves, while he goes to assist Konoha's forces on the front lines. The 3 try to travel in secret, but are found by enemy ninja, looking for the ninja the team had encountered earlier. They kidnap Rin to see what she knows. Obito immediately tries to go after her, but Kakashi stops him, saying they must complete their mission first, as the shinobi rules dictate. Obito lists a number of reasons why they should place saving a teammate above the mission's success, but Kakashi is unmoved. Obito leaves, claiming that those who abandon their friends are scum. He also says that Sakumo Hatanki, despite being disgraced when he abandoned a mission to save his team, was right to do so. On the front lines of the Third Shinobi World War, Iwagakure's forces have almost defeated Konoha's. Despite this, when Konoha's yellow flash arrives, the surviving Konoha ninja are confident that the battle is about to turn in their favor. Meanwhile, Obito nears the location where Rin is being held captive. He is found by Taiseki, but before he can be killed he is saved by Kakashi, having been convinced to help because of Obito's words. Taiseki survives and tries to attack Obito again, but Kakashi saves him once more, though his left eye is damaged. Obito awakens his Sharingan and kills Taiseki to protect Kakashi. Kakashi ignores his damaged left eye and joins Obito in confronting Kaka, Rin's only remaining captor. They attack him and manage to release her. Kaka, rather than let a group of kids continue to believe it would be that simple, causes a cave-in. Obito pushes Kakashi out of the way of falling debris. His right side is crushed, and neither he nor his teammates are able to free him. Kakashi regrets allowing this to have happened, but Obito makes a proposition. Since he never gave Kakashi a gift for becoming a Jonin, Kakashi can have his remaining Sharingan eye as a replacement for Kakashi's damaged one. Rin performs the transplant, and Kakashi emerges from the rubble to face Kaka. With his new Sharingan, Kakashi is able to overcome the Chidori's weakness. Though the attack is still fast, the Sharingan gives him enough reaction time to avoid counterattacks. He kills Kaka and returns to Obito's side. With a Wagakura reinforcements incoming, Obito asks Kakashi to take Rin away and protect her from harm. When the cave-in resumes, Kakashi reluctantly complies. Obito dies, regretting that he couldn't spend more time with his team, while also regretting the fact that he couldn't tell Rin that he loved her. Kakashi attacks the newly arrived Wagakura ninja to fulfill his promise, but soon loses consciousness. He awakes some time later to find the enemies dead, having been killed by his master. With Rin safe, they complete their mission by destroying the Kanabi Bridge. Bonus Story 1. At the Akiraku, Naruto approaches Sakura and Sasuke about finding out what Kakashi looks like beneath his mask. Sakura is immediately interested, but Sasuke is not willing to help until Naruto hypothesizes about what facial features Kakashi may be trying to hide. The three take Kakashi out for a meal at Ramen Ikiraku, hoping to see his face when he removes his mask to eat. Right when they are about to see it, Ino interrupts them to greet Sasuke. When they look back, Kakashi has already finished. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura are disappointed, but Ayame and Tucci, having seen what Kakashi looks like, are love-struck. Bonus Story 2. The revelation of Kakashi's true face. Naruto secretly meets with the Ninkin to ask them what Kakashi looks like beneath his mask. Pakun is surprised by the secrecy, all of the Ninkin having seen it before and thus finding it unremarkable. Since Kakashi doesn't like to be photographed, they have nothing to show Naruto, so they instead offer to describe Kakashi's face for him. Each provides wildly different descriptions until finally deciding that Pakun's version is the most accurate. Elated, Naruto runs off to tell Sakura. After he leaves, Kakashi comes to see the Ninkin without his mask on. Seeing his face, they realize that the description they gave Naruto was completely wrong. Bonus Story 3. The new erotic ninjutsu completed. This is set during the 2.5 years that Naruto spends training with Jiraiya between Part 1, Part 2. After a day of training, Naruto is eager to cook a fish that they caught. Jiraiya, meanwhile, has writer's block for his next Ike novel, and is unwilling to cook Naruto's fish. Naruto uses the new sexy technique to convince Jiraiya, and Jiraiya happily complies. As Naruto celebrates, Jiraiya decides to use Naruto's sexy technique as inspiration. He suggests Naruto wear a thong as part of his transformation. Confusing a thong for a mawashi, Naruto transforms into a sumo wrestler. When Jiraiya becomes angry with him, he uses the form to knock Jiraiya out. Bonus Story 4. Land of Tea Escort. Mission. With Konoha having a shortage of Junin due to Orochimaru's failed invasion, Tsunade was forced to use Junin for more dangerous missions than normally allowed. Team 7, minus Kakashi, who was assigned to another mission, was given the assignment of escorting a member of the Wasabi family through a dangerous annual race, as it was rumored the rival Wagarashi family had hired ninja of their own to sabotage the Wasabi family. Along the way, they met an arrogant teenager named Ibi, who openly showed his hatred towards ninja. He also showed off his impressive speed by running away from Team 7 after conning them into paying his bill at a restaurant. Upon arriving in the Land of Tea and meeting the Wasabi family's leader, Jiroche, Team 7 was shocked to see Ibi again and learn he was the man they were assigned to escort. During the race, Naruto and Idate continue to show their dislike of each other. It was also revealed that Idate was actually the younger brother of Ibiki, and formerly a Konoha Genin. They also encountered the three Aim Genin from the Chunin exams. After defeating them, they encountered Iui Rakusho, another former Konoha shinobi, who betrayed Konoha to join Ai Migakura. He was also originally Idate's teacher, and the one responsible for Idate running away from Konoha. After barely surviving Iui's attack, Idate explained how after he was failed by Ibiki himself for the Chunin exams, Iui tricked Idate into stealing a special scroll and the Sword of the Thunder God from the village. Being able to relate with Idate in both being taken advantage of and the need to have others recognize them, Naruto helped Idate regain his self-worth and continue the race. Idate wins the race. While managing to catch up in the race, Iui appeared again and used the Thunder Sword to initially overpower the Team 7. But thanks to Sasuke fighting Iui and weakening the sword with his Chidori, Naruto was able to break it when they clashed and defeat Iui with his Rasengan. With the danger overcome, Idate was free to continue and win the race for the Wasabi family. During the victory ceremony, Kinoroku tried to cheat the victory by lying that Naruto carrying Idate was a violation, but the daimyo caught Kinoroku and his minister for cheating. As a result, the minister had to become a monk, and the Wagarashi family was disbanded. While returning to the village, Team 7 was escorted by Ibiki himself. While he did not openly state this fact, Ibiki was glad that Naruto had helped his brother grow as a man. Bonus Story 5. Land of Rice Fields Investigation Mission. After recovering from his battle against Sasuke, Naruto joins Sakura in another attempt to save Sasuke from Orochimaru. Before crossing Konoha's border, Jiraiya appears. He saves them from becoming labeled missing nin from leaving the village without authorization by allowing them to join him on a mission to gather information on Sasuke and Orochimaru. Their journey takes them to the land of rice fields, the land of the Otogakura. After a couple comedic failures to gather info due to Jiraiya's perverted antics, Naruto and Sakura met a young kunoichi named Sasame of the Fuma clan. She revealed her desire to find her cousin Arashi, who along with the majority of her clan, went missing. After facing 3 members of the Fuma clan and managing to escape them, Jiraiya returned with new information he gathered from the remnants of the Fuma clan that saw through Orochimaru's lies. Jiraiya explained that Orochimaru was gathering as many supporters as he could from various clans simply to gain their secret technique. After facing the 3 members again and defeating them, Sasame led Naruto and his team to Orochimaru's current hideout. Inside the base with no knowledge of where to go, the team took different paths. Eventually, Naruto found Sakura in a long corridor facing off against Kabuto. Naruto was able to hit Kabuto with his Rasengan, but unfortunately fell prey to a devastating technique that attacked his heart. After being saved by Sakura and Sasame, it was discovered that Kabuto was actually another Fuma clan member, Kagoro, in disguise. Soon after, they found Arashi, who became the victim of an unstable technique of Orochimaru's that merged him with his 2 fellow clan members and drove him insane. Naruto, along with Sasame and Sakura, were able to restore his mind. As Orochimaru's hideout began to fall apart, Arashi revealed that Sasuke was safe for now. But Orochimaru was doing everything in his power to make Sasuke a perfect host for him in the near future. After sure that the Fuma clan were free from Orochimaru's control, Naruto and his team returned to Konoha. Bonus Story 6. Mizuki Tracking Mission. Ready to begin his 3-year training with Jiraiya, Naruto was furious to learn that Jiraiya was ordered by Tsunade to go gather information instead for a while. After Jiraiya managed to sneak away from Naruto, he decided to talk directly to Tsunade. Naruto, who was spying on one of Tsunade's Hokage meetings, discovered that Mizuki not only had escaped from prison, but had a connection to Orochimaru. Seeing this as another chance to find Sasuke, Naruto went off to look for Mizuki and met up with Iruka. Eventually, Naruto found Mizuki and was horrified at how much stronger Mizuki looked now. Iruka had Naruto fight against the legendary Stupid Brothers, while Iruka faced off against Mizuki. After being completely overpowered by the 2 brothers' insane raw strength, Naruto was saved by Team 10, who took over the battle so Naruto could aid Iruka. Along the way, Naruto met Mizuki's former lover Tsubaki. With her help, Naruto and Iruka found Mizuki's hideout, where it was discovered that Mizuki was given instructions for a special performance-enhancing drug. Meanwhile, Team 10 is almost defeated since the two brothers are too powerful, but Tsunade comes to their aid and convinces them that Mizuki tricked them and that they should head back to the prison. After consuming the drug, Mizuki became a behemoth of his former self and completely overpowered Naruto and Iruka. After discovering that Mizuki's speed was rapidly declining from pouring more chakra into his raw strength, Naruto and Iruka were able to defeat Mizuki with a well-timed maneuver that ended with a Rasengan. After Mizuki was interrogated, it was discovered that he unfortunately had no knowledge of Orochimaru's whereabouts. Bonus Story 7. Bakushu, Search Mission. Seeing how desperate Naruto wanted to find Sasuke, Team 8 came up with a solution. They requested Tsunade assign them a mission to find the legendary Bakushu beetle that could track any target as long as it had the target's scent. As Kurenai was still hospitalized and there were no other missions available, she approved their request. Naruto was placed on the team as well after being caught spying and forced to vow not to continue asking for missions to be sent to search for Sasuke if this one failed. Naruto was annoyed, however, to be under Shino's command. Upon finally arriving at the nesting grounds of the Bakushu, the team had great difficulty searching for the Bakushu. Things became even more complicated when it was discovered that the Kamizuru clan of the Owagakura were also after the beetle in hopes of restoring their clan honor. After Naruto and his team managed to capture the Bakushu and it laid an egg, Hinata was captured by the enemies and used as a hostage to get the Bakushu egg. While Naruto and his team tried to save her, they fell prey to the enemy's trap and were captured as well. Fortunately, Shino had already hid the Bakushu too thoroughly for the enemies to find. After Hinata escapes from her prison, only to seemingly fall off a cliff, Naruto begins to draw on his tailed beast chakra in his rage, frightening an enemy who decides to preemptively kill him. Fortunately, Hinata appeared and saved her team. Naruto then watched in amazement as Hinata's new, original technique completely overpowered the enemy's B-oriented techniques. He was even more shocked to hear he was the one who inspired Hinata to attempt making something so complex and powerful. After Naruto defeated the last enemy, the Bakushu egg finally began to hatch. Naruto unfortunately could not find Sasuke's forehead protector that he brought for Sasuke's scent. In a fit of desperation, Naruto accidentally farted, causing the baby Bakushu to memorize the latter's scent. This meant that mission was a failure, as a Bakushu can only memorize one scent in its lifetime, and it will take another year before another egg is hatched. Upon returning to the village, Naruto was forced to face a livid Sasakura, who was angered due to his bumbling the last chance Sasuke had permitted them to attempt to find Sasuke. Bonus Story 8. Kurasuke Family Removal Mission. With Jiraiya still gone, and no idea of when he would return, Naruto decided to train anyway. He could in the village. While training in the woods, he came across 3 weak and injured men from the village of Katabami Gold Mine. Naruto brought them back to Konoha. After they recovered and explained to Tsunade that they came to Konoha for help in ridding their village of a terrible gang, Tsunade decided to assign Naruto on the mission, with Team Guy to keep him preoccupied from his obsessions of finding either Sasuke or Jiraiya. Before leaving, Naruto learned from Lee, who was told by Guy, that the leader of gang is Raiga Kurasuke, a former member of the 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist. Naruto saw this as another chance to find Sasuke, as Raiga might know where Kisame and Itachi are, which could lead him to Sasuke. Before arriving at the village, the team stopped at a small restaurant that Lee knew well from his early days training with gear. There they met an old acquaintance of Lee's, Sansho, an elderly lady whose best meal was an energizing and nutritious curry known as the Curry of Life. Sansho revealed that her son Karashi left the restaurant a while ago after getting a wrong understanding on being strong. The team then went to the village and were horrified to discover that not only was the villagers so traumatized by the gang that they refused to be rescued, but also that Raiga had a psychotic joy for funerals and would regularly bury people alive. After defeating Raiga's minions and discovering one of them was Karashi, Then Naruto and the others were confronted by Raiga. In addition to Raiga's highly powerful lighting jutsu, Naruto and his team found themselves at an even bigger disadvantage from a powerful genjutsu. Even Neji's Byakugan was powerless against. Soon, it was discovered that Raiga's unique genjutsu and much of his power was actually coming from a young boy he was carrying on his back. The boy was named Ranmaru and possessed a unique dojutsu. After separating the two, Naruto was able to launch him off a cliff with a Rasengan and defeat him. Afterwards, Naruto and the team retrieved Ranmaru. They learned that the boy had been with Raiga for years by choice, because the two of them had an understanding of each other. Raiga gave Ranmaru a reason to live and feel useful. This made Naruto remember Haku, who shared a similar relationship with Zabuza, and ultimately refused to let Ranmaru go down the same path as Haku did, and offered him another path. Later, while the team was helping Sanshou make a shelter for her shop against a storm, Ranmaru had Karashi bring him to Raiga's burial. Ranmaru was able to tell that despite Raiga's fatal wounds from Naruto, Raiga was still barely alive. Ranmaru without hesitation transferred almost all of his energy into Raiga to save him. Infuriated by the sight of a seemingly dead Ranmaru, Raiga took his rage out on Naruto and his team. While no longer having Ranmaru's eyes to aid him in battle, Raiga instead gathered natural energy from a lightning storm of power and enhanced his lightning release technique. After Ranmaru was saved and recovered by Tenten, he began to understand what Naruto was talking at night about trying to find value in life, besides killing others. Ranmaru helped Sanshou and Karashi revive the unconscious Naruto, Neji, and Lee with the curry of life. Ranmaru then tried to convince Raiga to stop the meaningless battle, but Raiga only viewed this as betrayal. After seeing that Ranmaru had made up his mind and Naruto managed to overpower him, Raiga decided to give himself a funeral by electrocuting himself to death. After the mission was completed, with Ranmaru now being an apprentice to Sanshou, Naruto and his team returned to the village. Bonus, Story 9, Gosunkugi Capture Mission. When word that a notorious thief, known as Gosunkugi, of the Land of Stone, was making his way towards the Land of Fire, reached Konoha, Tsunade assigned Naruto, Kiba, and Hinata to capture the man. Along their way, they met a bounty hunter by the name of Sazanami, who was also after Gosunkugi. After quickly dispatching Naruto and his friends, Sazanami managed to find Gosunkugi but was quickly defeated. He was saved by Konoha shinobi. It was later while treating the man's wounds that Naruto and his team found out the man was actually another wanted man by the name of Tokichi. Tokichi explained that he was framed for murdering a family that Gosunkugi actually killed. Deciding to help Tokichi clear his name, they worked together to track down Gosunkugi again. Gosunkugi and Tokichi himself were captured by another bounty hunter and handed over to the authorities. The bounty hunter was an honorable man and helped clear Tokichi's name. For Naruto and the others, this meant they failed their mission as someone else captured Gosunkugi. Bonus Story 10, Cursed Warrior, Extermination Mission. While eating ramen after doing his daily training in preparation for Jiraiya's return, Naruto met a young man named Chishima. He is told about the troubles going on in the Land of Birds and wishes to help. He then joins Neji and Tenten in solving the mystery of Cursed Warrior's ghost. Upon arriving in the Land of Birds, they meet one of the Daimon-Yo's advisors, Monso, who explains the situation. While searching the kingdom at night, Naruto and his team find the ghost and face off against it, only to find that not only was the armor empty, but according to Neji's Byakugan, it had no living presence. Komi believed later that it was one of Monso's devices. The following day, Monso explains that it is believed that the whole situation is a scheme set up by the Daimon-Yo's head strategist, Komi, to take over the Land of Birds. They then go to meet the Daimon-Yo's Sagi, who turns out to be a young teen and childhood friend of Chishima. However, since becoming Daimon-Yo's and his twin sister Toki, he has become quite cold to all beyond his duties as Daimon-Yo. After saving him from an attempted assassination, it is discovered that the weapons are owned by Komi's soldiers. Naruto, Neji, and Tenten begin spying Kame, who later goes to the site Cursed Warrior was seen the previous night. This time, upon fighting, Naruto and his team face a much more formidable opponent using high-level ninjutsu techniques. While defeating him, the enemy commits suicide by melting himself in acid. Then later, Komme is arrested for conspiracy. While they are told the mission is over, both Naruto and Neji have their doubts about it. Naruto goes back to the site to investigate and discovers a chain of underground tunnels. Unfortunately, Naruto takes a path that leads inside the daimyo palace and is arrested. Later in a prison cell, Naruto is confronted by Cursed Warrior, who attempts to kill him. Naruto manages to defeat him and discovers that it is really Sagi in disguise. Sagi explains that he made this disguise to find out who killed his father and sister. Before the fight could continue, an injured Chishima appears and reveals that Nunso was behind the deaths of Sagi's family. Naruto then impersonates the Cursed Warrior and saves Komme from his execution. He then meets up with Neji, Tenten, and the newly arrived Kakashi. They then go to confront Mujo. Unfortunately, Sagi goes ahead out of his desire for revenge. Upon catching up with Sagi, it is discovered that Sagi is actually the twin sister Toki impersonating her dead brother. It is also discovered that Mujo is actually a ninja named Hoki of the Watari Ninja, who plan to take over the land of birds. Hoki kidnaps Toki and Naruto and Chishima go after him while Kakashi, Neji, and Tenten deal with Watari Ninja. Naruto is initially overwhelmed by Hoki's cunning deceptions and various improvised jutsu, but is saved by the spirit of Sagi, who tells Naruto he has to save Toki from her anger. After a battle of clones between the two, Naruto defeats Hoki. Later, Naruto and his team watch as Toki takes up her role officially as Daime, and thanks Naruto for saving her kindness. Bonus Story 11. Kaima Capture Mission. When Anko Mitarashi was assigned to escort a delivery ship and stop a sea monster mystery in the land of the sea, she was assigned with Naruto, Shino, and Ino as all other active ninja were unavailable. Upon arriving at the land of the sea, Naruto met a young girl with several bandages named Izaribi. Naruto was shocked to learn that much like him, Izaribi was shunned from the society and treated as a monster. Naruto tried to befriend her, but she was too traumatized to embrace his kindness. Later, when reaching the ship, Naruto and his team were attacked by Yoroi Akado and Misumi Tsurugi from the Shunin exams. Naruto was knocked out and sunk to the ocean. Fortunately, he was saved by Izaribi. Meanwhile, after gathering information from the villagers, they found Izaribi after she transformed into a humanoid sea creature and prevented her from escaping. After catching up with his team, Naruto discovers the sea monster was actually Izaribi. Unfortunately, before they could figure things out, Yoroi appears and kidnaps Izaribi. Naruto's team is unable to follow as Anko mysteriously faints. After Anko recovers, she reveals the truth about her past and this chain of islands. She tells her team that several years ago, Orochimaru used this place as a base to conduct many of his horrific experiments. He was responsible for the people mysteriously disappearing, kidnapping them and using them as lab rats. Izaribi was one of them. These actions also started the legend of people being captured by spirits. Determined to make Orochimaru pay, Naruto insisted on destroying the hidden lab. While Anko was able to guide them to the lab thanks to prior knowledge she had as Orochimaru's former apprentice, they were ambushed by the enemy. Naruto was shocked to learn that Izaribi was working with the people who turned her into a freak. She explained that all she cared about was becoming normal again, which Amachi, the lead scientist of the lab, promised he would do. Naruto tried to convince her that this was wrong and that he understood her pain since he too has been discriminated against. But Izaribi refused to listen. She then retreated with Amachi to attack the cargo ship. Naruto was stopped from following by Misumi, but was able to defeat him with Eno's help. After escaping with his team from the crumbling lab, as a result of all the fighting inside, Naruto and his team went after Amachi and Izaribi. Naruto then found himself up against Izaribi, but eventually managed to make her understand what she was doing was wrong. Soon after, Amachi went up against Naruto and revealed to have put himself through the same surgery as Izaribi, but fully perfected. Initially, Naruto was completely overwhelmed, but by tapping into some of the Nine Tails chakra, Naruto quickly defeated Amachi. He soon after collapsed from exhaustion, but was saved again by Izaribi. who was compelled to save him after realizing Naruto really did understand her pain. Shortly after Naruto awoke, he and his team found themselves attacked by Amachi's spectral summoning. Naruto countered by summoning Gamabunta to help. Together, they were able to destroy it with an improvised fire release technique. After discovering that Amachi had no idea how to restore Isarabi to her previous form, Naruto offered Isarabi to come back with him to Konoha, in hopes that Tsunade's superior medical prowess would be able to help her. Bonus Story 12. Buried Gold Excavation Mission. Noticing a decline in the success rate of Naruto, Hinata, and Kiba on their recent ninja missions, Tsunade decided to give them one final chance before considering sending them back to the academy for additional training. Their mission involved retrieving a hidden treasure. However, disagreements between Naruto and Kiba led them to take different paths, with Kiba consistently choosing the correct route. Along the way, Hinata injured her ankle, prompting Kiba to proceed alone, while Naruto stayed behind to assist her. During Kiba's absence, Naruto and Hinata were attacked and captured by mysterious ninja. Upon awakening, Naruto discovered that they were replicated by their captors, members of the Kejin clan with a unique transformation technique capable of copying a person beyond mere appearance. The clan's sinister plan involved infiltrating Konoha to destroy it from within. Facing a perilous situation, the enemies attempted to crush Naruto and his team in a cave-in. Kiba and Naruto worked together to free Hinata, who utilized her gentle fist technique to repel the falling rocks. Escaping the cave, the team pursued the Kedoin clan. Naruto's anger surged when his double wreaked havoc in the village, accumulating a hefty bill from various establishments and consuming all of Naruto's saved food at home. Discovering the double's weakness in replicating physical prowess, they easily captured them. In a surprising twist, Tsunade revealed that she had actually hired the Kedoin clan to test Naruto and his companions, assessing their ability to handle such challenging situations. Bonus Story 13. Starguard Mission. While having a snack with Sakura, Naruto learns that Neji, Lee, and Tenten were sent on a mission to aid Hoshigakure protect their precious chakra-emitting star, which was actually a meteorite from thieves. Suspecting that Orochimaru might be behind these attempted thefts, Naruto convinced Tsunade to add him to the team. After Naruto and the team arrived at the base of the Hoshigakure, they met a young Hoshijinin named Sumaru, who escorted them safely around the deadly gases surrounding the village. They were then introduced to the acting leader, or Hoshikage of the village Akahoshi, who explained the situation. It was revealed that the special star enhances the chakra of whoever trains under it long enough, and enables them to manipulate their raw chakra in very unique ways, forming a ninjutsu known as the mysterious peacock method. Later, the star was stolen by a masked ninja who possessed the same star-enhanced techniques as the Hoshigakure, only more powerful and refined. While Naruto began making friends with several of the Hoshijinin, he learned that Sumaru lost his parents when he was young, and dreams of becoming Kage of his village. Later, after Sumaru was kidnapped by Akahoshi, disguised as the masked ninja, it was discovered that the real reason why the star was so coveted by other villages was because of the dangers to using it, as very few in history have survived the star training. The forced releasing and enhancement of chakra generally proves too unnatural for most people to adapt to, causing the body to give out and die before it can properly synchronize with the chakra. And even if a person does complete the training, there is still a chance the person will eventually be killed by the enhanced chakra. Although the third Hoshikage, who died recently, stopped the training, Akahoshi resumed it soon afterwards, which the Hoshi ninja have been willing go through for the village's prosperity. Later, Naruto found himself up against the masked ninja again when Akahoshi attacked with the intent of killing the masked ninja, and knocked Naruto and the masked ninja into the poisonous cavern. Fortunately, the masked ninja saved them both. Naruto then discovered that the masked ninja was actually a Hoshi Jonin named Nasuhi, who was Sumaru's mother and one of the few people to ever successfully complete the star training. She explained that 10 years ago, despite Nasuhi and her husband, who sometime later died, convinced the third Hoshikage to stop the star training in exchange for faking their death and watching over the village from afar. After hearing how dangerous the star really was, Naruto was determined to help Natsuhi stop Akahoshi, who was deliberately using the Hoshigaku for his own selfish goals. Upon facing off with Akahoshi, he revealed to have killed the third Hoshikage, so he could take over the village and resume the star training, and willing to sacrifice anyone as long as the village got the glory he desired. After Sumaru appeared, Akahoshi used him as a hostage to force Natsuhi to give him the star. Despite Naruto's anger at Akahoshi, Neji reminded Naruto that technically, Akahoshi is not a villain to the Hoshigakure, as they all wish to make their village strong as well, and as such, the Konoha ninja cannot do anything against the village leader without repercussions. Later, Natsuri attempted to retrieve the star again despite her failing health, but was killed by Akahoshi. It wasn't until one of the Hoshi genin showed the villagers the damage the star training did to his body, and the truth of the third Hoshikage's death, were revealed that the villagers finally turned against Akahoshi. Deciding to regain control by any means, Akahoshi embedded the star into his being to gain a tremendous power increase. With the help of a final technique left behind from Natsuri, Naruto was able to defeat Akahoshi and destroy the star using the Rasengan. Later, the infected Hoshi ninja were taken to Konoha for treatment from Tsunade and are cured. Naruto is glad to see that despite losing the star, the Hoshigakure still is determined to become recognized as the next great shinobi village. Bonus Story 14. Peddler's Escort Mission. Excited to finally have another mission, Naruto was joined with Hinata and Shoji to the land of vegetables for escorting a group of merchants. Along the way, it was noticed that smoke was coming from deep within the land of vegetables, prompting Naruto to investigate. Upon doing so, he was attacked by a couple of unknown ninja. After escaping them and reporting to his team, it was decided to try going down a different route, in hopes the mysterious ninja weren't after them. In addition, one of the merchants, Shun, suggested the group split into two to allow the weak and younger members a further protection. After the teams were split up, with Hinata going ahead with the weaker group, and Naruto with Shoji staying back to protect the first group, Naruto went to check the area again, and found one of the merchants, Kikunojo, dead and dressed as a ninja. Naruto then returned to his group in time to see the enemies attacking, and then just as quickly retreating. This allowed Naruto and Shoji to realize the enemies were after a target in the other group. After catching up with Hinata's group, Naruto and Shoji confronted Shun and Uranoshin, since Kikunosuke was close to them. It was revealed that Shun was actually Princess Haruna, heir to the land of vegetables throne, and Kikunosuke and Uranoshin were Haruna's personal ninja bodyguards, named Kikunosho and Uranosho. It was also explained that a dangerous group of ninja called the Janin conjured a coup d'etat and killed the land of vegetables daimyo. Fearing that their combined skills would not be enough to protect Haruna, Kikunosho and Uranosho hired Konoha for extra help, but pretended it was an escort mission because they were low on money. Naruto was furious when he learned that Haruna purposely decided to use the innocent merchants as a decoy for her escape from the criminal brothers. Later, he was told that Haruna has lost her faith in others because of her troubled past of growing up away from home for years in a terrible land. Later, the youngest brother of the group, and the one who killed Kikunojo, Ruiga, attacked Naruto and his team. Despite outnumbered, Ruiga's unique water technique easily overpowered his enemies. Fortunately, an attack was already predicted, and Hinata escaped with Haruna. After Uranoshin realized Ruiga's technique wouldn't work in dry areas, he, along with Naruto and Shoji, lured Ruiga into a canyon to cut off his water supply, and were able to defeat him. Unfortunately, Uranoshin sustained an injury, causing Shoji to stay with him while Naruto went after Hinata and Haruna. Naruto then discovered that Haruna knocked out Hinata and ran away. While looking for Haruna, the second brother, Jiga, appeared. Armed with a magnetic wave manipulating jutsu, Naruto was quickly defeated by his enemy. Fortunately, Hinata arrived and used her gentle fist to turn Jiga's own technique against him by tampering with his chakra network, causing Jiga to become buried in iron sand. Afterwards, Naruto leaves an exhausted Hinata in Shoji and Uranoshin's care, while he went off to find Haruna, knowing that she needs help and to regain faith in others. After finding Haruna, they were ambushed by the eldest brother of the group, Renga. Naruto faced off against Renga, but his unique ability to create ice discs out of the moisture in the air allowed him to repel all of Naruto's attacks and force him on the defensive. After hearing from Renga, planned to kill his brothers later, so he could keep all the profits for himself, and how Haruna's father gave her up as a hostage for the country's safety, but deeply despised himself for it. Haruna realized her outlook in life was wrong. When Renga began using his discs to create heat beams from the sun's rays, Naruto used his forehead protector to reflect the beam on Renga and defeat him. Afterwards, Haruna found herself with a chance to kill Renga and avenge her father, but she chose not to after being inspired by Naruto's selflessness. Later, after being crowned daimyo, Haruna decided to become a ruler with the same kind of compassion. She also asked Naruto to be her advisor, but Naruto unfortunately declined, as he still desired to save Sasuke. Bonus Story 15. Third Great Beast Arc. While going through a standard checkup with Tsunade, Naruto learned that Lee's recovery from his injuries during the Chunin exams was still questionable. Later, Naruto and Tenten went to check on Lee just in time to see him in a practice match against young prodigy named Yagura. To Naruto, Tenten, and Guy's amazement, not only was Yagura able to push Lee back in taijutsu combat, but was also able to use an advanced taijutsu technique to nearly break Lee's ankle. Later, when Naruto and Tenten were worrying about Lee's well-being, Neji convinced them to have faith in Lee, as Neji had learned, stating bluntly that Lee has the potential to surpass any prodigy, despite his shortcomings, because of his dedication. Later, when Guy went on a mission with Yagura, it was discovered that the boy, who was with Guy, was actually an imposter. Tsunade quickly sent Neji, Tenten and Naruto to go after Guy. Tsunade also decided not to tell Lee in fear he would follow them despite his ankle injury. Upon catching up with Guy, it was discovered that he was already captured by a ninja team of brothers who wielded a unique puppet technique that controlled wooden training dummies and were on a mission of revenge against Guy for their father's death. While Naruto and the team managed to fight back the dummies, Lee surprisingly showed up and rushed to aid his sensei. As Naruto and the team began to tire, Guy and Lee managed to defeat the brothers' dummy fortress and break the technique. Afterwards, Guy revealed to everyone the story behind his battle with the brothers' father, making the brothers realize that their father didn't have contempt for Guy, but respect. This meant their desire for revenge was pointless. Bonus Story 16. Konoha plans recapture mission. With so much new construction and expansion going on in Konoha, workers from outside the village were also being hired to help in the project, including an old man named Genno. Shortly after meeting each other at Ikaraku, Naruto and Genno became close. It turned out that Genno was in fact a legendary ninja from Kejiro village, who was infamous as a strategist. One night, Genno finally began his plan against Konoha and stole several building blueprints. After being cornered by the Anbu, Genno decided to end things by blowing himself up. Later, after Tsunade sent every available ninja above Genin rank, except Shikamaru on a mission to secure the lands of Fire Border from a possible attack that Genno spoke of from Takigakura, Tsunade assembled Naruto and the other Genin to aid Shikamaru in locating the stolen blueprints. Naruto was horrified to find out the kind man he grew attached to was actually an enemy of the village. Later, Naruto was taken in for questioning with the Anbu as he possibly would be the best lead to discovering Genno's plans. Even with hypnosis, the Anbu were unable to gather any useful information beyond that Genno's nice to Naruto because he reminded Genno of his grandson. Later, questions about Genno's supposed death came up. It was then discovered that Genno faked his death with a fake corpse. It was also discovered that the Takigakura had nothing to do with Genno, meaning Genno tricked Konoha into making itself almost completely unprotected. The group's search for Genno soon took them to the academy, where it was discovered that an enormous chain of explosive tags were planted starting from it and leading all over the village. The group then immediately went to work safely, removing the explosive tags. Thanks to help from Hamura Mitakado and Koharu Utaten, it was discovered that Genno had actually planted most of them over 30 years ago. This meant Genno came to the village once before. It was then learned that 30 years ago, Genno's village was at war with Konoha. In the end, Konoha was able to destroy the village with a sneak attack. 2 days later, however, another rival village came and destroyed the remnants of the village. Meanwhile, Naruto remembered that whenever he ate ramen with Genol, he was frequently gazing at the Hokage monument. This prompted Naruto to go investigate the mountain. Inside, he found Genol was indeed alive and had planted several explosive tags inside the monument. Genol revealed that the explosive tags all over the village were just another decoy. Genol's real goal was to cause a rock slide from the Hokage monument to destroy the village. The group arrived in time after Shikamaru correctly deduced Genol's true goal and disarmed his main means of triggering the tags. Not willing to give up, Geno summoned a giant bird to activate them manually from the monument of the third Hokage. With his friend's help, Naruto was able to stop the bird with his Rasengan. Later, Geno died as it was discovered that he was incredibly ill. It was also revealed his grandson was actually his son, and after getting to know Naruto, decided instead of revenge to have one last fun game. He did so by tampering with several of his explosive tags to at most leave a few weak cracks in the Hokage monument. After learning the truth, Naruto realized that the village has to be prepared for real enemies who desire the village's destruction, and he decided more than ever to train hard. Bonus story 17. Yakumo Kurama Rescue Mission. While continuing his solo training, Naruto came across a young girl painting portrait of Konoha. While watching her do so, she strangely drew a bolt of lightning striking the village. To Naruto's shock, the village suddenly was struck by lightning, causing the Ninja Academy to become engulfed in flames. While following the girl to figure things out, Naruto was stopped by 2 medical nin and an Anbu who drugged and took her somewhere. Naruto soon returned to the village, only to learn that recently, Kurenai gave up her position as sensei of Team 8. Not wanting his friends to be sad, Naruto went to find Kurenai and try to reason with her. After failing to make Kurenai change her mind, Naruto went to talk to Tsunade. Instead of doing so, he bumped into Sakura, who revealed that Kurenai quit because of new development from an old student of hers named Yakumo Kurama, a student with an unheard-of natural aptitude for genjutsu. Deciding to investigate further, Naruto found Yakumo at her family's mansion and disguised himself as Kurenai to gain access. Inside, he found several pictures of various horrors, including the image of Kurenai being stabbed in the heart. Seeing this picture somehow caused Naruto become suddenly struck by an overwhelming fear, as if he himself was stabbed, and a vision of a demonic-looking Yakumo. After being discovered, Naruto was drugged and knocked out. While so, Naruto had a dream about Yakumo and Kurenai, which showed that despite Yakumo badly wanting to be a ninja, Kurenai refused to let her and instead decided to perform a sealing jutsu to seal away her power. Later, it was discovered that Yakumo came from a famous clan of Konoha that was once infamous for its high aptitude and strong usage of genjutsu, but lost much of their reputation ever since Yakumo's parents, the head of the Kurama clan, died. It was also revealed that the Kurama clan had a very rare and powerful Kekkei Genkai, but without proper guidance was deemed too dangerous. Naruto was then joined up in a mission to protect Yakumo with Might Guy, Sakura, and Team 8, as Yakumo was being targeted by members of the Kurama clan, including Yakumo's uncle Unkai. Naruto and his team managed to find Yakumo, who was protected by Kurenai, in time to save them from the Kurama clan. After Sakura treated Kurenai and Yakumo, Yakumo revealed to Naruto that she was put under Kurenai's care back then because of a special order from the third Hokage due to Yakumo's weak body, but strong and unstable powers. She also revealed that she overheard the third Hokage talking to Kurenai about the Kurama clan's power being a threat to the village that had to be dealt with. To Naruto's even greater shock, Yakumo's parents were killed in a horrible fire that Yakumo suspected was the third Hokage's doing. Then upon returning to the village, the team found it in ruins with no signs of life. While searching for others, Naruto was found by Unkai. He explained to Naruto that the destroyed village was actually a giant genjutsu casted by Yakumo. Unkai also explained that he and the Kurama clan were after Yakumo because they feared her powers were becoming too unstable and dangerous for the village's safety. He explained that Yakumo's Kekkei Genkai allows her to cast genjutsu that stimulate the mind so much that it can cause actual damage, even to the point of death. The problem is, without proper care and training, the Kekkei Genkai's power can turn against the user by creating a second, highly dangerous, personality known as Ido. Because of this, the third Hokage and Kuranai realized there was no choice but to destroy Yakumo's power before the second mind took over. Willing to sacrifice himself, Unkai knocked Naruto out to block his senses, making the genjutsu powerless and helping Naruto to escape. Doing so, unfortunately, left Unkai terribly wounded. Naruto and Team 8 quickly went after Kuranai and Yakumo, only to be caught in another of her genjutsu. Despite Kuranai's pleas for Naruto not to, Naruto began telling Yakumo the truth about her powers. Doing so caused her to finally remember how her parents died, which caused her inner demon to finally break free. While Naruto had a heated struggle against it, Kuranai pleaded with Yakumo to help as she was the only one who could stop it. While scared and unsure of herself, Yakumo was convinced by Kuranai that this was still her power and could learn to make this power a great tool if she overcame the darkness. Yakumo managed to destroy the monster and save Naruto, finally purging herself of the darkness. Afterwards, it was learned that all this time, Yakumo still cared for Kuranai as a mother figure. With Kuranai's final mission from the third Hokage finally completed, Kuranai felt she could now resume her role as leader of Team 8. While Naruto was happy for his friends, this adventure reminded him that he still had to worry about his inner demon and save Sasuke from his darkness. Bonus Story 18. Gentetsu Escort Mission. Naruto, Lee, and Sakura were ordered to help escort a wanted criminal ninja named Gentetsu, who was a member of a criminal group called Shinobazu, to the Land of Forest's capital, to be interrogated and standing trial. Upon arriving to their mission, Naruto and the others met Todoroki, one of the head guards. He quickly made it clear that he didn't want the young ninja's assistance. It was clear that for some reason, he had especially high anger towards Gentetsu. During the transfer through a river, the Shinobazu attacked and caused Naruto, Todoroki, and Gentetsu to be separated from the rest of the group. After a short skirmish with the Shinobazu's leader, Shura, they fell off a waterfall, forcing Shura to retreat. While Naruto managed to survive with Todoroki and Gentetsu, they were now lost in a maze-like forest, which was also the Shinobazu's home territory. Surprisingly, Gentetsu offered to lead them through it. He explained to Naruto and Todoroki that the Shinobazu were after him to get the money Gentetsu stole from them back, and then kill him. Along the way, one of the Shinobazu members, Toki, found and attacked them. With help from Gentetsu, Naruto was able to defeat him. In doing so, Gentetsu had gained Naruto's trust, but Todoroki's rage towards the man seemed to grow even greater. It was then revealed that Gentetsu killed Todoroki's family 5 years ago. After learning what happened to his family, Todoroki joined the Land of Forest's police to find his family's killers and trained extensively so he could get revenge. Finally giving in to his anger, Todoroki decided he would kill Gentetsu now. Then another member of Shinobazu appeared named Monju. He captured Gentetsu in a net of steel string and caught Naruto and Todoroki in a constricting trap of more steel string. Later, after Monju left with Gentetsu, Naruto and Todoroki used their sweat to weaken the strings and broke free. Naruto then caught up with Gentetsu and Monju, who was fighting Sakura, Lee, and strangely a group of kids. With some shadow clone tactics, Naruto was able to defeat Monju. Unfortunately, Shida then emerged and took one of the kids after Monju told him the boy knew where their treasure was. The boy turned out to actually be Todoroki's younger brother Akio. Todoroki, who arrived not too long ago, refused to believe it. It was explained that while Gentetsu was once a true member of the Shinobazu, after witnessing the pointless slaughtering his gang was doing, he began secretly saving children from Shinobazu's attacks and sheltering them, starting with Akio. After time, the children began looking to Gentetsu as a father figure and became a new family. Eventually, he decided that his actions of merely sheltering people wasn't enough and decided to put an end to Shinobazu. He then formulated a plan to steal from them their stolen goods and get caught by the police. knowing that this would drag out Shinobazu and give the opportunity needed to stop them permanently. Despite learning the truth, Todoroki refused to forgive Gentetsu as he still helped in the murder of his parents. Naruto, Todoroki, and Gentetsu, then joined in saving Akio, while Sakura stayed behind to watch the orphans. Upon arriving at the base, Todoroki accidentally set off the alarms. They soon found Akio, only to be caught in a trap set by Shura, who set the building on fire. Naruto left Todoroki and Gentetsu to save Akio, while he went after Shura. With the assistance of his shadow clones, he was able to catch up to Shura and defeat him with a Rasengan. Later, with the Shinobazu destroyed, Todoroki grudgingly decided to let Gentetsu go and watch over the orphans, swearing he would tell his superiors Gentetsu was killed in the fire. Todoroki also grudgingly decided to let his brother Akio stay and help Gentetsu. Bonus Story 19. Menma Memory Search Mission. While searching for a special bamboo ingredient for his next ramen meal, Naruto came across a young man floating in the river. Quickly, he took him to the village hospital. It was then discovered that the young man had no memory of who he was. There were no clues to who he was beyond an ocarina the boy was carrying. Later the following night, lightning struck the hospital, causing it to burst into flames. The young man, who was still being cared for in the hospital, quickly acted by saving an infant with the aid of strange technique performed with his ocarina. To thank him, Tsunade decided to let the boy stay in the village for the time being, as long as he stayed with Naruto. Naruto then decided to name him Menma, a name he came up with from the bamboo he found. As time went on, Menma showed himself to be very considerate and giving as he began doing all kinds of chores around the village, even without being asked first. While cleaning the Hokage monument, an unknown man attacked Naruto. At first, Naruto was forced on the defense, until Menma played another melody on his ocarina, which somehow gave Naruto a tremendous surge of chakra to overwhelm the man. This forced the man to retreat, and Naruto to wonder who Menma really was. After telling Tsunade about the incident, Tsunade theorized Menma might be from the land of rice fields that was known for music-based techniques. After begging her, Naruto and Menma were allowed to go, along with Neji and Tenten. They were sent along as Tsunade feared Menma might be affiliated with Orochimaru as one of his subordinates. Tayuya used a similar technique style. On their journey, they came across a small village in ruins. The sight of the destruction seemed to horrify Menma. For some reason, soon after, Naruto and the others were attacked by the villagers. Despite their unexplained hostility, the villagers stopped attacking after learning they were from the Konohagakure. Before the team left the village, one of the villagers approached them and begged for their help. She explained that because of the gold mine at the foot of the village, it has been subjected to a terrible attack by rogue ninja from the Otogakure, costing the village countless lives. Thanks to Menma's insisting, it was decided to stay and help the village. Naruto and Menma then began making a wall to aid in protecting the village from the next attack. Eventually, the rest of the village was inspired to help make the wall. While still working on the wall, the man who attacked Naruto and Menma earlier attacked again. In the scuffle, Menma was injured while saving the village leader. While treating his wound, it was shockingly discovered a tattoo on Menma that revealed he was actually a member of Missing Nin. Despite the villagers' anger towards him, they were talked into helping Menma. Soon after, the rogue ninja attacked again, led by the man from earlier. After managing to fight back their enemies, Menma, who seemed to have regained his memories, revealed he knew the gang leader Shin's backup plan, to blow a large dam to flood the entire village. Menma asked Naruto bring him to the mines where he planted several explosive tags there to counter Shin's plan. Along the way, Menma revealed he was indeed a member of that gang. He explained that he was taken in by them when he was young, but never realized how evil they really were until they attacked the village. Menma explained that after being taken to Konoha, he pretended to have amnesia to live a peaceful life, even for a short while, and to get help from Konoha in stopping his clan's horrible actions against the small village. While Naruto was initially furious at Menma for all his lies, he soon sympathized with him for his troubled past and realized Menma's intentions behind his lies were pure. Menma then gave Naruto his ocarina as a parting gift before pushing him into a canyon river and setting off the explosive tags at the cost of his own life. While it succeeded in stopping Shin's plan, Naruto was furious at the loss of his friend and defeated Shin with his Rasengan. Later back at the village, Naruto finally had the special ramen he was waiting for Ichiraku to prepare and had in memory of Menma. Bonus Story 20. Village Hidden by Sand Support Mission. Kakashi is shown investigating the Takumi village. His ninja dogs found that the village was deserted and that the body of their founder was taken from its grave. Meanwhile, Sakura, Shikamaru and Naruto discuss the status report from Temari, saying that she and her brothers are going to become involved in their village's new shinobi training program. In Shinigakura, the three siblings were shown leading a combat training class. One of the students, a shy, quiet girl named Matsuri, was reluctant to use something that could hurt someone else. So Gaara taught her to use a defensive weapon, the Junhu. They became friends. After word reached Konoha that Gaara and his team needed help against a group of ninja called the Four Celestial Symbols, men from the Takumi village, who kidnapped Matsuri, Naruto joined the rest of the Konoha, 11-10, under Shikamaru's command to help. Naruto was particularly glad he could finally pay Gaara back for helping them during Sasuke's defection. Quickly, Shikamaru formulated a strategy to best handle the situation and had Naruto pair up with Lee for main offensive assistance. The two arrived in time to save Gaara from Tsuko, an opponent with chakra-absorbing armor, after being struck by a water release, water dragon bullet technique. After Gaara recovered with help from Sakura's medical ninjutsu, he took over for Naruto and Lee to finish off Tsuko. Afterwards, Gaara went on ahead. He stopped just before going into the canyon and was shown to be worried about Matsuri. Naruto followed soon after. Naruto arrived in time to see Gaara facing off against the leader of the Four Celestial Symbols, men, Hoki, now armed with all the unique weapons of his allies. Unfortunately, Gaara was still too exhausted to properly fight back. Naruto quickly went to help Gaara. After Hoki shouted his anger towards the 5 great shinobi countries for overlooking his village's greatness as weapon makers and vowing to destroy them, he trapped Gaara in a giant iron sphere which began absorbing the chakra of Shukaku, the one-tailed demon inside Gaara. Doing so slowly began to make Gaara transform into Shukaku. Hoki then used that chakra and himself as a sacrifice to perform a resurrection technique with the intent of reviving the Takumi village founder, Seimei. Quickly after emerging, Seimei reconfigured the weapons of Hoki as armor for himself. Seimei then began siphoning off Shukaku's chakra, making Naruto repeatedly try to break Gaara free. Eventually, Gaara's transformation process proved too great for the prison to handle. While Seimei was looking forward to facing Shukaku, Gaara was able to suppress Shukaku and revert to normal, amazing Naruto and everyone else who appeared. While everyone else didn't understand why Gaara wouldn't take advantage of Shukaku's power, Kankuro explained that Gaara was determined to rely on his own power from now on. Gaara then used his remaining chakra to turn some of the canyon around them into sand and crushed Seimei, finally ending the battle and saving Matsuri. As everyone rushed to help Gaara, who fainted shortly afterwards, Kankuro noted to Naruto how he finally found someone who he can relate to. Later, while Naruto was recovering at the village, Jiraiya showed up. After explaining how he had spent the past few months gathering information about the Akatsuki, he told Naruto he was finally ready to train him for the next 2 years. Gaara, Temari, Kankuro, and Matsuri left for Sunagakura. After recovering and having one last bowl of ramen with Iruka, Naruto finally set off with Jiraiya to begin his training, vowing to become strong enough to free Sasuke from Orochimaru when he returned.